Chevy sales, Marty speaking.
Marty!
What's with the horn?
It's the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet.
So?
They're getting big shipments of new Chevys. Whoa, there goes a bunch of new Equinox with 0% for 60 months.
Not again.
Yes, sir, Marty man.
How many Chevys you got?
Too many to count. Oh, that's a small shipment. Look at that. Hey, Marty, I think these are for you. During the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New Equinox with 0% for up to 60 months or make no payments for 120 days. Plus, bring us your trade and get an additional $1,000 off on any in-stock vehicle, regardless of your trade's condition. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% offer with approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. All rebates to dealer. Offers do not combine. Some exclusions apply. Taxes and fees extra.
Are you ready for kids who eat healthy? Good nutrition can lead to great things. To find out how a healthy lifestyle can help your child succeed, go to mypyramid.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and USDA.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
We're so glad you set your radio right here. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
What will the judge do? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the big question today. In a court hearing in Palm Beach, Florida, it's the same judge who approved the search warrant in the FBI's Trump raid.
Multiple media outlets have asked the court to make public the affidavit used by the Justice Department to justify searching former President Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago. While the Attorney General said the search warrant and receipt of property taken could be released, and it was, DOJ's argued against releasing the affidavit, saying it would provide a roadmap in their ongoing criminal investigation and might compromise sensitive information and even witnesses.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The former president has called the search that yielded 11 sets of classified documents un-American and a break-in. He wants that affidavit released. Rudy Giuliani spent several hours testifying before a grand jury in Georgia that's investigating Trump attempts to overturn election results.
Prosecutors informed Giuliani he is not just a witness, but a target of the investigation. Now, this is not an indictment, but an official notice he could face criminal charges based on the evidence. During the weeks following the 2020 vote, Giuliani, acting as President Trump's personal lawyer, urged Georgia legislators to invalidate the results based on conspiracy theories debunked by state and federal authorities.
Fox's Jonathan Seri in Atlanta. There's death and destruction in Afghanistan's capital. That's outside a mosque in Kabul that was bombed during evening prayers. At least 21 people are dead, including a prominent cleric, 30 others injured. The Miami-Dade, Florida police officer shot in the head Monday night has died of his injuries. The gunman was a robbery suspect being chased and killed in a shootout. CDC's making changes.
This comes after years of criticism that only got worse during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some of the changes include creating a council to help the director strategize, adjusting the time agency leaders spend on outbreak responses to...
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. America's listening to Fox News.
Getting it right. All day and all night. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
In Lehigh Acres, there is a crash popping up this Leonard at Westgate. So far, we're not seeing too much commotion. However, this is very near Lee Boulevard, a very busy street. So plan for a little bit of extra travel time there. Proceed with caution. Also, Lee Boulevard, there is a little bit of work going on there. That is you're approaching Colonial. We want to tell you it's the same thing for the interstate. Those lanes should be getting clear as the morning rush goes on, but 75 south between Colonial and MLK, you may still see some cones out there as workers are moving that over. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for a few spotty showers for the remainder of your Thursday morning. Isolated thunderstorms drifting mainly inland and east of the I-75 corridor as we head towards this afternoon, with quieter conditions rounding out the day by about 8-9 p.m. We'll be looking at highs near about 92 degrees under a partly cloudy sky. Temperatures cooling into the upper 70s as we kick off your Friday morning. A warm, humid start that'll also feature additional chances for a few morning showers. Isolated storms again for your Friday afternoon, mainly inland with the high near 93 degrees before higher rain chances return for the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
The news you need, the host you trust. Getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I'm Tiffany Esposito, and I'm running to represent you in the Florida House. I was born and raised right here in Southwest Florida, and I've spent my professional career working to protect and grow our local businesses. I'm running because I want to ensure Florida remains the freest state in the nation. Thanks to Governor DeSantis, we've set the standard for freedom in America, but we must fight to keep it that way. I'm Tiffany Esposito. I'm pro-life, pro-gun, and a champion of the free market, and I will always fight to protect our freedoms. We've seen the impact of Biden's failed policies, from gas prices to the indoctrination of our students to a border crisis. Florida must remain the firewall between tyranny and individual liberty. I'll work to secure our borders, fix our public schools, and I'll keep Brandon's policies out of our free state. I'm Tiffany Esposito. I'm running for the Florida House to fight for the conservative principles that make Florida the greatest state in America, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid by Tiffany Esposito, Republican for Florida House District 77.
The things that were meant to be together were brought together. My Shower Door epitomizes that saying by pairing their award-winning glass manufacturing with their proprietary hardware. My Shower Door was just ranked the #1 shower door company in the U.S. by Glass Magazine. With more than 2,500 5-star Google reviews and their 10 Florida showrooms, My Shower Door has brought everything together. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman. Byron is standing up to the Washington radicals and taking on the woke left. Byron is working to secure the border, tackle inflation, and get spending under control. Here's Byron Donalds.
They still want to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on this Green New Deal while inflation is through the roof, hurting every American, regardless of your party, regardless of your race, regardless of your socioeconomic status. This is the insanity on Capitol Hill.
Byron Donalds has been fighting against this insanity every day to keep Florida free. That's why President Donald Trump endorsed Byron Donalds and called him a defender of the Second Amendment, and that Byron is a supporter of America First policies. Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
I'm Byron Donalds, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Byron Donalds for Congress.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know for a long time, you've heard me talking about Amco Bonita Springs. They are just an amazing local conservative business, but I've got to tell you about something really exciting that the owner is doing. Kevin Sabitas is also the founder and CEO of the American Spirit Movement. Now, you heard me talking about their conservative marketplace for a long time now. What you haven't heard is that they're launching a brand new conservative chapter right here in the Estero Bonita Springs area, and experience what a real conservative organization is supposed to be. America First, business with conservatives, constitutional conservatism, all patriotic conservatives are welcome, especially locally owned conservative businesses. You gotta love what Kevin and the American Spirit Movement are doing right here in Southwest Florida and across the country. Visit americanspiritmovement.com/events to get more details on the launch of their first chapter right here in Southwest Florida. The American Spirit Movement, built by conservatives to help unite conservatives. Visit americanspiritmovement.com/events.
Power outages are common in Florida. Any homeowner who's experienced a lengthy power outage knows the value of a whole home standby generator. I'm Nathan, one of the owners at Generators by Design. We live here too, and we recognize that a reliable standby source of power is a tremendous comfort and possibly even a lifesaver. Despite what Mother Nature may bring, be confident knowing you'll have working lights, appliances, and of course, AC. At Generators by Design, we install fully automatic systems for your particular home and your specific needs. With over 40 combined years of experience in the electrical, gas, and generator business, we guarantee your satisfaction. We stand for the flag, love our great country, and care about our customers. Call us at 239-689-8786, and I'll personally come out, meet you, and provide a free evaluation and estimate. online at generatorsbydesign.com. That's generatorsbydesign.com. Generators by Design, where your power is our priority.
I'm Dan Severson, and that's the sound of a fighter jet taking off. Over the course of my 22-year career in the United States Navy as a Top Gun fighter pilot, I've heard that sound thousands of times. From my time as a military officer to serving in the Minnesota legislature, I have always put country and community first. Now, I am running to represent you on the Lee County School Board, and I have the endorsement of former Commissioner of Education, Richard Corcoran. I'm Dan Severson. I'll put an end to the indoctrination of our students through critical race theory and gender grooming. I will rein in the out-of-control budget, put parents back in charge of our children's education, and bring classic curriculum back into our classrooms. We're a conservative community that deserves conservative leadership that we can trust on our school board. I'm Dan Severson. I am that conservative, and I am asking for your vote. Paid by Dan Severson for the Lee County School Board, District 4.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
A lot of reasons why we should care about the school board races here in Southwest Florida. I mean, we should care about everything, obviously, with the primaries coming up next week, and some of what we have been talking about for months and months and months, and the concerns that we have about getting this right, that there are very few opportunities like we have right now. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to fix the mic here. Very few opportunities like we have coming up in the next couple of days to actually make some serious changes in Lee and Collier County with school boards and other places as well, and the concerns that many people have. And it's a small window, and we got to get it right. We just have to. And so some more reasons as to why we need this coming up. Also, some more of my thoughts on school board races here and some of the inside baseball. Listen, you need to know it. You need to know some of the inside baseball and what Democrats in the state of Florida and locally are going to do and what kind of money is going to be spent and what their plan is and how they look at these primary races and into the general and how they're going to win unless you do something about it. So we're going to get to that coming up. Hey, no big deal. Jake, this isn't that big a deal. I know a lot of people get frustrated over this, but I really don't know why. It's not a problem. If you were to have $2 million in your bank account, would that be a lot? Would that be a lot of dollars for you, let's just say?
No, that's tough change.
All right, so obvious question. $2 million, a lot of money, right?
A lot of money.
Okay. If you had 2 million boxes of Slim Jims in your home, available to you anytime, that's a lot, right? I mean, that's a lot of Slim Jims.
Yeah, because if you're talking about boxes, I think more than one come in.
Okay, how about singular? Just one single Slim Jim. If you had 2 million Slim Jims in your house, you feeling pretty good?
It's kind of making my stomach hurt, but yeah.
Okay, but a large number. I mean, we're talking about a big number that sometimes you can't wrap your head around, that if you had it, it could last for a very, very long time because of the amount of Slim Jims, correct? Okay, good. If you were to find out that there is a city in the United States that has 2 million people living in the city, is that a small city, a mid-sized city, or a pretty good-sized city? 2 million people living in one city. That big?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, so obvious questions and obvious answers to simple questions right here, right? So if I were to tell you that the border has now made 2 million arrests, 2 million illegals coming across our southern border for the fiscal year 22, it's August. For the first time ever. Last year, total, we had something like 1.6 million people, which was the biggest at the time. It's August. We've got 2 million people who have crossed our southern border. that we know. Jake, is 2 million crossing our southern border, is that a big deal? Or is it, it's like a box of Slim Jims in the corner someplace that you can't find and it really doesn't make a difference? It's just a drop in the bucket. Am I missing something? Is 2 million people crossing a border? Is that a lot?
That's a lot.
If, for example, a country that didn't like us said that we were going to attack the shores of this country, and they sent boats, let's just say, off the shore from some faraway land, with 2 million people coming at us to cross our borders to come here, and would you be worried about 2 million people coming here? I bring this all up because we're going to talk to Congressman Byron Donalds today, our Thursday visit. Can you wrap your head around this? I know you can't go a day without talking about Trump. You can't go a day in the mainstream media without Trump being brought up because the man has to be destroyed. Of course, there are a lot of people that are not getting it clicking in their brains, sometimes because they don't want to understand that the reason why there are people that are upset about what is happening with the former president of the United States and running again for office and everything else is for all the obvious things that we have seen and witnessed, right? The fact that we have hoaxes perpetrated on him by the United States government and we're supposed to dismiss it like nothing happened. Impeachment procedures on perfectly fine phone calls, if you want to go there, and all the, which we've seen how this is all played out. No crime, nothing to see here. And how we've spent the past 7 years having to fight against an establishment of both Republicans and Democrats who have found an individual who is cracking open some of the things that are happening behind the curtain that should disturb everybody, and has opened it up and to destroy this person. And we're just supposed to dismiss all of this like, yeah, all right, next. Do you understand that the reason why people care for a lot, the people that I talk to, is number one, the man never got a fair shot because he was constantly attacked. And so you saw what was possible under all the issues that were happening with that individual, a duly elected individual. And now we're just supposed to dismiss this like, okay, we get the idea. You don't like the guy and you want him to go away. So now we'll just move on to the next person, because certainly the next Republican in line is never going to be treated like this person has been treated at all, right? Is that your suggestion? Because one of two things happen. Either the next person in line, whether that's Ron DeSantis or Ted Cruz or whoever that's going to run for president in 24, let's just say, and it's not Donald Trump. There's one of two things are going to happen. Either they're going to be mercilessly attacked just like Donald Trump was, and that's what we're going to see, and it's going to be Trump 2.0 treatment of the next individual, where we'll find crimes that don't exist and everything else, and evil and attached to Trump and all of these different things, and MAGA, and you know how it goes, ultra super soft MAGA. I don't know what it is, but you keep going on and on with this, and the attacks happen, or they lighten up on the attacks, and it's not as bad as, and we get back to the quote unquote normalcy that we've had in the past that we've enjoyed with races like anything that had to do with George Bush or any of the Bushes or any other races that we've had in the past politically, and how it's been nice and calm and hey, may the best man win and all that kind of stuff, which now we come to find out that maybe that wasn't exactly the way it was the whole time. But if that individual now is treated differently, does it beg the question, hear me on this, if the next person to run in 2024 is not Donald Trump, and let's just say it's Ron DeSantis or anybody else, And they don't get the same treatment as Donald Trump was getting because we know the weaponization and how it works of certain bureaucracies against politics and how the politics have worked. And even the CDC is saying, hey, listen, we kind of made some mistakes here during the pandemic and we're going to change a lot of things, never mentioning the political aspect of it. And we're going to get to that story in just a second. But doesn't it stand to reason if that person doesn't get treated the same way, then maybe they play ball. Maybe they don't have as big a problem with that person because they'll play the game. Does that make sense? Jake, do you see what I'm saying? Does any of that make sense? Or am I on an island right now? It's about playing ball. Some people don't play ball. People don't like it. But there are things that are going on, whether it's the border, 2 million people coming across, and we're not supposed to make a big deal. It's nothing. Listen, all right, it happens. Yeah, all right, anything else? What's the next shiny object we can watch? Why do we even have a border? Why is there it has become, the politics of it it's mind-boggling. Arizona recently started building its own wall to fill the gaps along the Yuma sector of the southern border because they're just frustrated. They don't know what to do. We have a border or we don't. They've come up with a very innovative solution to doing this. Do you know what it is? They're stacking storage containers and then they're welding them together to barricade the areas. Are you hearing what I'm saying? They're taking storage containers and they're welding them together along our southern border to do something to mitigate the 2 million plus people that are. Do you understand that we're at 2 million right now, a major metropolitan city size crossing at our southern border? And it's August and it's only going to get worse. We have states that are issuing executive orders directing Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs to immediately fill gaps with storage containers because nobody's helping. You can't even wrap your head around this. And I'm bringing this up right now, and I'm really passionate about it because it goes to the overarching story that to me is so important, and it's this. Again, I don't know how to explain this any more succinctly, but it's simple. Who's for these policies and who's against it? Who doesn't want to do something along the southern border? And who does? Who looks at what's going on along the southern border? And listen, I'm going to say something that is not going to be very convenient for people because I'm just telling you that Republicans do this. How many Republicans do you know? And I might even ask Congressman Donalds about this. Actually, I will because I really want to know. Again, how many Republicans will fight politically after 2022 and we're going to win the House and we're going to win the Senate? Oh boy, are we going to be stronger than ever? Really? Okay. Let's hope so. But then what do? Are you willing to say now, right now, we want the American people to see that we care about our southern border and the sanctity of our borders and the concerns that we have about 2 million plus people crossing and actually show the divide between those, for example, that didn't vote for the Inflation Reduction Act or the Inflation Increase Act or whatever you want to call it, or the Green New Deal 2.0, and the ones who didn't vote for it, the ones who did and the ones who didn't. And no Republican on the House side voted for it. Good. Let the left in this country talk about how they don't care about the earth and they don't care about the trees and they don't care about bringing down inflation. Because once everybody sees what's going on with this, we will have a dividing line. I want to know that there are people in Congress that are Republicans that will say, listen, when we have control in 22 and then certainly a president, hopefully a Republican in 24, and I don't know who it is, we need clean bills passed. We need to build a wall and secure the southern border, period, full stop. But no, you don't understand. We've got to also talk about those that have come in and DACA. And we've got to No, we don't. No, we actually don't. We don't need to fix a roof. Excuse me. We don't need to replace a carpet before we fix the roof. We don't need to replace the carpet before we fix the roof. If you do, you're a moron. Does that make sense? I mean, I hate to be so harsh. But how many of you would have a leaky roof, brown, gooey, whatever's coming from the ceiling, and it's just all over it's a white rug, it's beautiful, it's something that your family wanted, and you're super excited about it, and you keep your house perfectly clean, and all of that water is leaking through that roof, and it is destroying the carpet, and you're like, hey, let's replace the carpet. I just don't like the way the house looks. Like, you're not that dumb. None of you are that dumb. I mean, there's a couple of leftists who actually probably would be because it's I don't know, maybe not. Let's be fair. You're not that dumb. So why can't you pass something that is a clean bill that says you secure the border and we talk about everything later? And I'm just telling you, through the years, and I've been talking about this, I can't get anybody on the record, Republican, in office. I shouldn't say that. I'm surprised at how many people will not sign off on that. It's the argument I've had with Marco Rubio since 2014. Back and forth, back and forth. It's the arguments that I've had with, oftentimes with other congressmen and some senators, even newly elected congressmen who can't get on board with this. And it's nobody you know necessarily. I mean, it's not Congressman Donalds or anybody else that's been on this program recently. I'm talking about in the past and how some of the conversation that I tried to have about this doesn't change. But instead we talk about what people are looking at and saying, oh, it's just, it's theater, right? The theater of sending all these busloads from Texas to New York and how, you can't do this. And it's, well, you don't understand. We're going to send these to your sanctuary cities, right? Don't you want to have them in your sanctuary city? You don't have a problem with it. You don't mind spending all that money on healthcare and housing and all of these things. I mean, this is what you embrace. And it was Representative John Katko, who was on Fox yesterday. He's a congressman from New York, who was like, you're all a bunch of hypocrites, every single one of you.
New York City and Washington, D.C., the two biggest criers about what's going on with Governor Abbott's moves, are sanctuary cities, which means they don't want to do anything with illegal aliens except protect them. So now illegal aliens are coming to their cities, and they're like, oh, hang on a second here. We don't want this. It's a height of hypocrisy. And what Governor Abbott's doing is a very strategically sound move.
Yeah, it's a strategically sound move. Listen, we're bringing them to you. You decide what you want to do. Now, we can't have this. You have a Senate candidate in Fetterman in Pennsylvania, which is a very important race, by the way. Not that Oz is any great bastion of conservative values, because he's not. But this Fetterman guy that's running is someone who explains who he is to your face. Has no problem talking about a lot of different things. For example, sanctuary cities. Just the other day, what did he say?
Sanctuary cities is another policy that I very much support. Sanctuary cities, again, statistically, makes everybody safer, makes everybody better.
Makes everybody safer and better, everybody. The sanctuary cities make everybody safer and better. Just bring them here. Oh, wait, are you going to bring them here? No. We can't have them here. How about reducing the prison population? Did you know that in Pennsylvania, the talk right now with this Democrat, John Fetterman, who is over the top, they're talking about reducing the prison population by a third? Is that right?
I was on a panel with Secretary Wetzel earlier before the pandemic hit, and he said something remarkable that I agree with. He said, we could reduce our prison population by a third and not make anyone less safe. And
We could reduce the prison population by a third and not make anybody less. Really? Are you sure about that? And that was pre-pandemic. We're not even talking about pandemic where it's like we can't have these people all together. We can't do this. We've got to separate them. This is inhumane. This is horrible. No, this was before the pandemic they're talking about this. Do you honestly think that reducing the prison population by a third is going to not make anyone less, like it's going to be just fine? Nothing to see here. These are the leftist policies that we're battling. And we need not only Democrats on record explaining what and who they are so that you can be decisive in your decisions, but we also need Republicans to be decisive and on the side of what is sensible. Like, listen, I don't need to have amnesty attached to a securing the border bill of any kind. I don't need it. I need clean bills. I need you to step up to the plate and get this done. 2 million plus people already in August crossed our southern border. This is an outrage. Right? Or I'm on an island. 239-479-5592. I'm sorry, just the thing that I woke up to this morning and I'm like, I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but all right. I see where we are with time. We got to go. Let's take a break. 239-479-5592 is the Brett AC talking text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, this is Reg Buxton, and like you, I'm concerned about the future of our great county and country. I'm a lifelong Republican that has lived in Collier County for over 35 years. My conservative principles have guided me to advance the Republican agenda in sponsoring Lincoln Day dinners, board member of Republican clubs, and active participation in many areas of our community. I want to assure you that I will put my years of experience in roadway planning to good use to solve the traffic we are experiencing and will continue to improve the quality of life for all of us in Collier County. We can fix the affordable housing issues without taxpayers having to do the heavy lifting. I work to ensure mental health facilities are expanded to reduce the tax we pay to arrest and incarcerate through the sheriff's budget. Vote for me, Reg Buxton. Like you, I'm concerned about the future of our great county and country. Paid for by Reg Buxton, Republican, for Collier County Commissioner, District 2.
The things that were meant to be together were brought together. My Shower Door epitomizes that saying by pairing their award-winning glass manufacturing with their proprietary hardware. My Shower Door was just ranked the #1 shower door company in the U.S. by Glass Magazine. With more than 2,500 5-star Google reviews and their 10 Florida showrooms, My Shower Door has brought everything together. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program, which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
With a law degree and 4 certifications from the American College of Financial Planning, you can forgive Bob Grace if he's not a fan of taxes. You work your entire career to put funds away for a comfortable retirement, and improper tax planning can ruin it all. It's why Bob offers a tax-free retirement plan, and he can design one tailor-made for you. Call Bob Grace, President of Retirement by Design, to get your plan at 249-8888. That's 249-8888.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
This Fox Business Report is presented by the Darda Real Estate Group at dardagroup.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The stock market dropped Wednesday after the Commerce Department said retail sales were flat for July after rising nearly 1% in June. The Dow closed down 172 points, the S&P down 31. Overdraft fees plummet at Bank of America.
The bank reporting revenue from overdraft fees dropped 90% from a year ago.
B of A lowered the overdraft penalty from $35 to $10 and eliminated fees for checks that bounce. The nation's largest banks are scaling back or scrapping overdraft fees following years of public pressure. Most financial institutions noting the fees largely impact poor and minority communities. Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Reports are out that Amazon may be readying its own version of TikTok. Customers can scroll through product videos and then buy items directly from the feed. No comment from Amazon yet. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
With each mortgage-free home, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's heroes. These heroes need your help. That's Gold Star and fallen first responder families with young children, our nation's most catastrophically injured first responders and veterans, and even our homeless service members. Help these heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman. Byron is standing up to the Washington radicals and taking on the woke left. Byron is working to secure the border, tackle inflation, and get spending under control. Here's Byron Donalds.
They still want to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on this Green New Deal while inflation is through the roof, hurting every American, regardless of your party, regardless of your race, regardless of your socioeconomic status. This is the insanity on Capitol Hill.
Byron Donalds has been fighting against this insanity every day to keep Florida free. That's why President Donald Trump endorsed Byron Donalds and called him a defender of the Second Amendment, and that Byron is a supporter of America First policies. Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
I'm Byron Donalds, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Byron Donalds for Congress.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. I'd like to tell you that I'm the best AC mechanic in my company, but I'd be lying to you. I think my NATE certified mechanic team hides my tools from me so I don't hurt myself. You see, I'm the old guy, and I've been doing this work since I was a kid with my dad. Our younger staff are really the best mechanics in this business, and they've been through years of training and years of testing, with continuing education to keep up to date on the latest and greatest things in the air conditioning world. All companies brag about their experience, and we certainly have that, but we're most proud of our team being on the cutting edge and the leaders in technology and application of the modern air conditioning equipment. That's why we've been voted best air conditioning company in Southwest Florida year after year in the News Press polls. It's not me, it's the best team of NATE certified mechanics ever assembled. Call 239-482-1542 and experience the best. License CACO 57313.
Hello, I'm Dr. D'Amico. Have you been told you need a denture? Don't make the mistake of going to your dentist or the dentist closest to your home. A denture is a work of art and should look as beautiful as natural teeth. That's why I have a denture laboratory on site. We place each tooth exactly where it should go so I can make the most beautiful looking denture just for you. And with my lab, I can make your new denture the same day. Come in the morning, you'll leave that afternoon with your new denture. Others make you wait 2 to 3 months because your denture is going to be made in some other state or even some other country, and you're going to get a cookie cutter looking denture. Do you really want your friends and family members to know you have a denture? Of course not. Ask me how Medicare can help pay for your denture. Visit my website, see all our current specials, watch some videos, even before and after pictures. Go to dentistofnaples.com. That's dentistofnaples.com. Or call 234-5284. That's 234-5284. I'm Dr. D'Amico, the denture artist. I can help you.
License number DN15639.
Hey, it's Ford O'Connell. This FBI raid on Donald Trump is unacceptable. The establishment is attacking him because he's conservative. I know all about that. You may have heard the lies about me. This is what the establishment does. It attacks and deceives. I'm endorsed by Donald Trump's immigration director and deputy campaign manager. August 23rd, send the establishment a message. Enough is enough. Vote Ford O'Connell August 23rd. Paid by Ford O'Connell, Republican for state representative.
Hey, it's Tim Cooper with Health Plan Network. I can't help with gas prices or rising inflation, but I can help you lower your cost of health insurance. Are you tired of paying all of your medical expenses out of pocket because you never meet your deductible? Well, my Freedom of Choice plan puts most of your coverage up front, where you only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital. You pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. This plan is available all year round, so there's no reason to wait. You can change now. If you're paying for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call me, Tim Cooper. It just takes a few minutes at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Or go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net. And we can custom design a plan that's managed by you, not the government.
All right, it's Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And anytime I have Dave on the phone with me, I know something great is happening. And of course, we've got the new Dreamweaver carpets that we can talk about. And we know the installation time frame very quick, but we also know that there's some other things that are going on with carpets. Tell us a little bit more, Dave.
Yes, Drew, this Dreamweaver carpet, this is the hottest thing since five-buckle over shoes. It has a warranty for steps. We stock about 20 rolls of it. You can do the average set of steps for $750 to $850. We can do a remnant in this Dreamweaver for a guest bedroom for around $500. And we can get all these installed in about a week or less.
A week or less. That's what we're talking about. It's nice when you've got a quick turnaround, right?
That's right. Stop in. We don't mess around. We got it, and we'll put it in.
That's great. Now's the time to visit their store at 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco or online at floormeisters.com.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. This is Daybreak with Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Did this start with the driver or did this start in the restaurant that I ordered it from? Which makes me question where are these drugs coming from. He would give me my money back and refund me my order if I gave him my entire bag back because he claimed that there was medicine in the bag for his friend. I told him, no, sir, I can't give it back. I just want certain companies like DoorDash or Grubhub want to question what kind of background checks they're taking for their employees and do they really know the people who are working for them?
Okay, I don't think they do necessarily. It's kind of a big country. And so there's a DoorDash customer out of Ohio said, hey, I ordered a meal, no problem. And it came with a side of marijuana at the bottom of the bag. And he's like, this is, okay, yeah, it's kind of seems weird. You guys know, how did this happen? How in the world? Is that a thing, by the way, Jake? Is that kind of, you hear that story and you think, there's something I'm missing. And, you know, you're in touch with the Utes and you're in touch with people who, as a matter of fact, someone who uses DoorDash and stuff. I mean, is that kind of like I'm just putting this out there, hearing this story. Seems like a pretty convenient delivery system if you were to deliver certain things.
I mean, yeah, you could.
I mean, I'm not suggesting that.
Or you could just not use the app and deliver it yourself. I think it would be just as easy.
You talking about the food or the marijuana?
The marijuana.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, all right. Speaking of marijuana, I know there's a couple of stories that are out there that I gotta find it, and people hate when I talk about it because, I've got an opinion on legalizing certain things, and obviously the slippery slope. Slippery slope? What are you talking about? There's no slippery slope when it comes to drugs and different things, and it's just marijuana. That's all it is. What's the big deal? Everybody loves it and is doing it. And
marijuana.
Even some people running for governor have a thought on it. But yeah, there's a story about, and I got to try to find the story. Don't know if anybody necessarily cares because, it's about time we get on with the program and stop talking about things like this as if it's dangerous or addicting or could harm our kids. But there's a story about how we've got this enormous uptick in the usage of marijuana around the country with kids, with gummies and simple things and how it's being pushed and the industry is like, hey, how else can we kind of tap into this? And kids, okay. Yeah, so there's that out there. Listen, it's not, I'm just repeating the news. That's all I'm doing. It's like, you have your opinion on it. There's no slopes, and we don't have to go there. Maybe later. Okay, 239-479-5592. I'm sorry. Listen, I know it bothers Jake when, I'm sorry, you've been on the screen the whole time. I know it bothers you when we have the marijuana discussion or things like that.
Why does it bother me?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't bother you. It bothers
75% of the people listening?
No, it bothers you that it bothers some of the people that get bothered by this idea that, somehow, look, two things, all right? And let's continue to have this conversation and we'll be done. Number one, we were told that it was all about medicinal marijuana. That's all it is. It's medicinal, and we're going to help the kids. And there's certain kids and there's certain people, and it can be helpful. And okay, it seems as if it can be helpful. There are some people that get a lot of help from medicinal marijuana. Okay, we get that. But then we said that should not open a door, or it's obviously going to open a door to what is going to be recreational. Because listen, you can't stop it. What are you talking about? What's the big deal? I mean, we got alcohol flows freely, and what are we talking about there? We're going to start banning alcohol, and then so all of a sudden it's like, hey, let's get it on the ballot for 23. Can we do that? Is there a way to get it on the ballot so that we can talk about and have 22, 23, 24. We'll get it on the ballot, or we got to make it recreational in the state. Get with the times. The kids love it. Everybody's happy with it. It doesn't hurt anybody. What's the big deal? I mean, but you're not allowed to say anything about it being any kind of gateway. Gateway. Oh, that's an outrageous statement. How dare you say that? There's absolutely no evidence that there is. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about
gateway to what? What are you trying to say?
A gateway to other things. A gateway to other drugs. A gateway to...
So why am I not addicted to heroin or methamphetamine or never done anything, actually?
So if one person, if you have, so what I'm supposed to look at is take one...
How is alcohol not a gateway?
I'm suggesting that when it's abused, that it is.
Well,
there's abuse.
Caffeine's a gateway then too.
When caffeine's abused, it could be... Anything that's addictive is not good. Anything in moderation is fine, but we are not built for. Why can't we have this talk, like an open and honest debate? And listen, if you disagree with me, I'm cool with that. But I mean, we got to have the open and honest debate, right? You can't say that all of these things, the talk that I have about certain things like this is ridiculous because I want. Like, that's not an answer, or the feels. Like, I want to have this, so we can't be honest about what it is and is not.
What's ridiculous is the fact that we're debating over a plant, right, that people are going to consistently use to run on, like Nikki Fried, for example.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to win elections. So
you think that Nikki Fried's going to win the election here in the state of Florida against Governor DeSantis?
Did those words come out my mouth?
No, but you're saying that there are certain...
No, but the election she won in the past was strongly because of the fact that she was a supporter of medical marijuana. And look what it got her.
Well, I might say, and some would say, that if we look at the numbers and how that election turned out, and kind of the discussion about how Matt Caldwell was ahead, and it almost seemed like he was going to win this election, and then next thing you wake up the next day and it's like, wait, what happened? I'm not saying that. Anyway, the point here is that if that's your, singular voting issue is legalizing marijuana, we should talk, because there's a whole lot of other things that should be more important then. And you might say, exactly, Drew, that's the point. More important. What's the big deal here? I just want to be able to have an honest I don't even know why this came up like this. I'm sorry. I didn't want to spend all this time. But I do like to have the discussion and the debate, because when the minute it becomes the feels, the I wants, the I have the right to, then we really have to dig into what is a right. What does it mean to have a right? Do you have a right to health care? Where does it say that in the Constitution? Yes, that's where we go. I have a right to an abortion. You sure about that? A right? Where is that enumerated in the Constitution? Where is that right? Okay, good. So you'll manipulate it to make it seem as if there's something that was there that our founders were like, hey, can we get that abortion thing in here on this? Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to put together a constitution unless we are definitive about abortion. Hey, can we do that? And we're still racist, right? Okay, good. Just double checking. And then what addictive things in our world do and do not do. It's okay to have the conversation. Everybody knows about alcohol and what it does and does not do and what it's capable of doing. And in moderation, in things, we're just not built for moderation on a lot of different things. The addiction to porn, the addiction to alcohol, the addiction to marijuana, the addiction to methamphetamines, the addiction to prescription pain. I mean, you can go down the line on all the things that are addictive. So let's talk about it. Let's not hide and say, well, I have the right to. Because when things happen like companies that are, and I wish I could find this story now, and I can, I'm not sure where it was, but when we come to find out that, oh, I know where it is, stand by. But when we come to find out that there are companies that are targeting your kids, that are targeting, the industry is not doing so well. You got, candy maker Mars wins a lawsuit against marijuana dealers selling drug-infused, quote-unquote, Skittles. Yeah. Does anybody know that? Did anybody have any idea that there are some companies out there that make marijuana-infused products that look like Skittles so that the kids will say, hey, this is fun? Or maybe adults who say, hey, this is fun, which begs the question, why is your voice like that at your age? But yeah, that these are things that we need to talk about, like the targeting of, and I mean, nobody likes to talk about regulations and things like that, but man, we've got to have open conversation about some of these things, do we not? And it's okay, and I'm not saying we got to take it all away. We got to stop. We got to get rid of marijuana completely. Alcohol gone, everything. All of these things. I didn't say that, and I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, don't kind of pat me on the head and say, "Good boy, you're a little crazy when you're talking about the discussion about medical marijuana leading to the legalization of." I mean, what a leap! And then you look around the country, and it's like everybody's like, "Meh," and it's legal all over. And it's like, what's the big deal? I don't know. Forgive me if I just have questions. That's all. And then how things are marketed and when they're legal and the things that you'll do to prop up an industry and to make money. I mean, what are we talking about here? And then if we start to talk about what it is and, what we're looking at as a substance and, come on now. Now you're not cool. See, this is what makes the Republican Party uncool. Or conservatives. You're just not cool. Because you're not with what? Because I'm not with the culture? Forgive me. Forgive me for not being with a culture that feels that way. Like, it's not that big a deal. Okay. Just asking. So there's a 20-year-old student who acquired 6% of Bed Bath & Beyond. He made $110 million in 3 weeks. What? Jake, what are we doing? How in the world does this happen and we don't know about it?
Day traders are getting trolled by Zoomers and they're making
billions. Is that what it is? In a late Wednesday article published by the Financial Times, which at first and second and third read comes across as a cross between absurdist satire and a PR puff piece, we read the day's feel-good riches to riches story in which a 20-year-old university student named Jake Freeman, who is an applied mathematics and economics major at the University of Southern California, managed to accumulate 6.2% of the entire outstanding stock of Bed Bath & Beyond at under $5 a share. And less than a month later, he sold out the entire stake, $110 million. Whoa. And you know how he did this, Jake? Well, then why are we here? What are we doing?
Well, because the youths of America have found a way to band together and rig the stock market, apparently, and I don't understand it.
I wonder if that's how this kid did it. His plan for the realignment of the stock consists of 2 legs, cutting debt and raising. Okay, I don't know. It's a complicated story, but it's one that you question how this thing happens. But you are right. There is that manipulation that's going on in ways, and they figured it out. Boy, does that frustrate people. All right, 239-479-5592. Boy, this morning has gone in places that I was not expecting. I thought we would talk about Trump and Liz Cheney and other fun things. We'll do that coming up because there's fun audio there. I told you she's going to run. Told you she's going to run for. Don't say she's not going to run for president. I'm telling you. But why would she? Right? If you absolutely positively are going to get destroyed in a primary against, let's say, Donald Trump, or if you decide to run and you can't even get 30% in your own state to run for Congress, then why would you do it? Easy answer. We'll have it coming up. All right, tomorrow we will be live at Mercola Market in Cape Coral, just off of Pine Island Road, north of Santa Barbara Boulevard. If you want to stop by, grab some coffee and breakfast. They got a great biodynamic cafe. Mercola Market's a fantastic place to grab food and do some shopping. We'll explain coming up tomorrow morning, but we're looking forward to being there, 6 to 9 a.m. And also, don't forget about your tickets. Get your tickets now. Make sure you go to Reveal the Steel, Steel spelled S-T-E-A-L, revealthesteel2020.com if you want to get your tickets to see Dinesh D'Souza with special guest Kash Patel here in Southwest Florida. They'll be talking about 2,000 Mules, how the 2020 election was, let's just say interesting things happened, and we're worried about 22. So those questions will be answered Saturday, September 24th. At the Hilton Naples. Get your tickets right now at revealthesteel2020.com. All right, let's take a break. Stay break 92.5. Fox News right all along.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Top Gun fighter pilot Dan Severson is the conservative Lee County needs on the school board. Out-of-control spending and constant infighting has created an environment where our kids come last. Lee County needs a strong conservative leader who will make our children's education and safety come first. That leader is Dan Severson. From his time as a U.S. Navy Top Gun fighter pilot to 8 years fighting for conservative policies in the Minnesota legislature, Dan Severson has the experience, principles, and record Lee County can trust on the school board. And he has the endorsement of former Commissioner of Education, Richard Corcoran. Dan Severson will put parents back in charge of their children's education and put an end to liberal indoctrination policies like critical race theory and gender grooming. Dan Severson is the conservative leader our conservative county needs on the school board.
Paid electioneering communication paid by Parents for Accountability and Education, 1375 Jackson Street, Suite 202, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901.
I'm Mark Drasites from Lust Drasites in Talisano. At LDT, we're celebrating 40 years of handling personal injury claims in the state of Florida. If you're involved in an accident, you need a firm with the experience and resources to help you get the compensation you deserve. A firm that cares about you and does not leave you in the dark. If you're unhappy with your current lawyer, you have the right to get a second opinion or even change lawyers. At Lust Drasites in Talisano, winning is no accident. Offices throughout Southwest Florida, ldtlaw.com.
Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman. Byron is standing up to the Washington radicals and taking on the woke left. Byron is working to secure the border, tackle inflation, and get spending under control. Here's Byron Donalds.
They still want to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on this Green New Deal while inflation is through the roof, hurting every American, regardless of your party, regardless of your race, regardless of your socioeconomic status. This is the insanity on Capitol Hill.
Byron Donalds has been fighting against this insanity every day to keep Florida free. That's why President Donald Trump endorsed Byron Donalds and called him a defender of the Second Amendment, and that Byron is a supporter of America First policies. Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
I'm Byron Donalds, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Byron Donalds for Congress.
At Cool Today, we've been keeping our customers cool since 1963. When your AC is broken, you don't want to wait for service. And you shouldn't. With our same-day comfort guarantee, we promise to be there within 4 hours or your service call is free. Our techs are ready to serve you now, guaranteed. We drive mobile warehouses, and we fix 95% of all AC problems on the same day. If your AC is broke, don't wait. We guarantee we'll be there within 4 hours. Visit CoolToday.com to book now.
CoolToday.com.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more.
Are you living with foot pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Naples or Fort Myers and discover what makes the Good Feet store approach to relieving foot pain different.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Our kids can't vote, but you can. I'm Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6. Everyone votes for me in District 6. As a former assistant superintendent of schools, I am not happy with our education system. I have attended all school board meetings, and with my skill set, I can hit the ground running. School board elections are critical. If we want our country back, we take our children back. I have the right credentials. I am the right choice. Vote August 23rd for Denise Nystrom. Paid for by Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6.
Rockstar Harley's giving 115% of Kelly Blue Book value when you trade for a new Harley now through Sunday. That's 115% of Kelly Blue Book trade value. It's worth more at Rockstar Harley. Adjustments for mileage and reconditioning.
Hey, it's Ford O'Connell. This FBI raid on Donald Trump is unacceptable. The establishment is attacking him because he's conservative. I know all about that. You may have heard the lies about me. This is what the establishment does. It attacks and deceives. I'm endorsed by Donald Trump's immigration director and deputy campaign manager. August 23rd, send the establishment a message. Enough is enough. Vote Ford O'Connell August 23rd. Paid by Ford O'Connell, Republican for state representative.
Keeping it right here. We're 92.5 Fox News. And we've been right all along. This is 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News, right all along. On the radio, on your smart speaker, and online at rightallalong.net.
A guilty plea from a Trump associate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is coming today in New York City from Alan Weisselberg.
He's the longtime associate of former President Donald Trump that has overseen finances for the Trump Organization. Prosecutors say he was part of a scheme to give under-the-table cash to company executives. Weisselberg himself allegedly took nearly $2 million.
Fox's Gernal Scott. As part of the plea deal, Weisselberg will testify against the Trump Organization, but not against the former president or any Trump family member. In court in Florida, an attempt today to unseal the affidavit that led to the search warrant that led to the FBI raid on the Trump Mar-a-Lago home that yielded 11 sets of classified documents.
The judge presiding over the hearing approved the FBI's search warrant used to execute that raid. The Department of Justice opposes the release of the affidavit, claiming it would compromise its criminal investigation into Trump. But the former president is calling the department's bluff, saying the department is putting up red tape to hide its politically motivated search.
Fox's Brooke Singman. Yesterday, Rudy Giuliani testified before a grand jury in Georgia investigating his work as a Trump lawyer trying to help the then president overturn election results. A police officer shot Monday night in Florida has died.
Last few days here at Jackson Memorial Hospital, we have seen so many officers stopping by praying that this Miami-Dade police officer would recover.
Maricela Burgos with 7 News Miami. Officer Cesar Echeverri was wounded in a shootout with a robbery suspect who was killed. An attack in Afghanistan, a mosque in the capital Kabul was bombed during evening prayers, killing at least 21 people, injuring more than 30 others. In Ukraine, the Russian bombardment continues, at least 7 people killed in Kharkiv. The leaders of the UN and Turkey will go to Ukraine today to meet with the president, who's trying to expand grain exports that Russia's been blocking. America's listening to Fox News.
This Fox News update is presented by Freedom Dental of Fort Myers. Online at freedomdentalftmyers.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
In Fort Myers, we do have some traffic picking up westbound. This Palm Beach Boulevard at Marsh. Plan for that, especially if you're heading off early to work or to drop the kids off to school. We'll also tell you westbound on 1st Street, that in the downtown area, you're moving slow. And then we have some crashes to tell you about. One just coming in Fort Myers, this Orange River at Lorraine Drive, not causing too much commotion there. And in Lehigh Acres, we have southbound traffic affected at a crash, Alabama at 82. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for a few spotty showers for the remainder of your Thursday morning. Isolated thunderstorms drifting mainly inland and east of the I-75 corridor as we head towards this afternoon, with quieter conditions rounding out the day by about 9 p.m. We'll be looking at highs near about 92 degrees on our partly cloudy sky. Temperatures cooling into the upper 70s as we kick off your Friday morning. A warm, humid start that'll also feature additional chances for a few morning showers. Isolated storms again for your Friday afternoon, mainly inland with the high near 93 degrees before higher rain chances return for the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
At home or on your phone, no matter where you roam, you can always get rightallalong.net, the new web home for 92.5 Fox News.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
When you need a new roof, it pays to deal with the best. King Roofing has built their business on a solid foundation of honest appraisals, fair pricing, and the finest workmanship. Your insurance may be paying the bills, but you'll live with your choice of roofer for years, even decades to come. Choose Roofing Royalty, and you'll never regret it. In Southwest Florida, there's only one King. Call King Roofing today.
Every castle deserves a king.
Looking for a reputable HVAC service provider? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating of Naples provides a high level of service and value to our clients. To learn more, visit onehourairnaples.com or call 855-1-HOUR.
A good farmer isn't afraid of like lifelong Florida farmer Wilton Simpson. He's been dealing with his whole life. That's why Wilton's ready to be Florida's next Commissioner of Agriculture. From cleaning up his family's chicken farm in Trilby to cleaning up the mess in Tallahassee as Senate President, Simpson's fought to cut taxes for Florida families and a parent's right to have a say in their kids' education. 100% pro-life, endorsed by the NRA for defending our Second Amendment rights against sanctuary cities because we have to crack down on illegal immigration. Is it any surprise that Wilton Simpson has the complete and total endorsement of his friend and ally, Governor Ron DeSantis? In the Republican primary, vote for Wilton Simpson for Agriculture Commissioner, because Wilton's got a lot more to get done for Florida. Paid political advertisement paid for by RSLC Florida, IE PAC, P.O. Box 772516, Miami, Florida 33177, independently of any candidate or committee.
Need a seawall or boat dock? Call 844-WB-BUILT. I'm Jimmy Williamson of W.B. Williamson Brothers. W.B. represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with our grandfather in 1967, a tradition that made the Williamson name synonymous with seawalls and docks. 2022 building code mandates improved seawall design, and WB is ready. Our seawalls are constructed of 5,000 PSI concrete and with the same composite rebar used in bridge construction. This allows us to offer the industry's only lifetime seawall structural warranty. Our docks are built from true marine timbers, stainless fasteners, and the strongest deck board in the industry, Wear Deck. It's the last deck board you will ever need. And for a limited time, sign with WB for a new seawall, and we will include at no cost a 5-foot wide, 20-foot long dock. And we will begin construction within 90 days. That's right, a lifetime seawall warranty, a free 20-foot boat dock, and we will start within 90 days. WB Williamson Brothers, 844-WB-BUILT.
Nature Valley is giving away back-to-school gear for free at the Retalk Shop. On TikTok, show how you reduce, reuse, or recycle with hashtag RetalkForNature, and you could be served a code unlocking one free item.
My name is Sam Fisher. I'm a father, businessman, and conservative candidate for the Lee County School Board. I am also endorsed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor DeSantis endorsed me because he knows I'm a conservative fighter that will empower parents and put our children back at the forefront of the district's priorities. For years, our school board has ignored parents and taxpayers, pushed a radical leftist agenda, and wasted our tax dollars. Board members spend more time fighting amongst themselves than they do focusing on the education of our children. It's time for a change. I'm Sam Fisher, and I'm ready to make a difference on the Lee County School Board. I'll put an end to woke liberal policies. I'll get the $2 billion budget under control, and I'll make our schools safer. It's time to bring conservative policies to the school board, and that's why Governor DeSantis endorsed me. I'm Sam Fisher. I'm proud to have the support of Governor Ron DeSantis, and I would be honored to have your vote. Paid by Sam Fisher for Lee County School Board District 1.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Hey, do you have any idea what quiet quitting is? We're going to talk about quiet quitting because you may be witnessing it. And it seems that some Gen Z professionals are saying no to hustle culture. Basically, I'm not going to do any more than I need to do. Not only am I not going to do any more than I need to do, but to be honest, in some cases, I'm going to do things that are going to go against the person that I'm working for and take the money. Is this really happening? So we're going to talk about that coming up in just a bit. Also, another example of how the left is going after you, your conservative values, your constitutional rule of law values, you know, the thing that you care about in this country, like gun sales and political harassment. Really? Is that happening? Are Democrats now pulling another game where they are politically harassing people when it comes to gun sales? Yeah, there's a story about Smith & Wesson that you should hear because, you know, you need to give us the information. And you need to give us all the information on all the people that are buying your guns. And we want to know all kinds of things. Really deep dives into the data. Like, why do you need that information? The House is asking that. They're subpoenaing Smith & Wesson. What's the purpose? Well, there's a clear purpose, and we'll get to that coming up in just a second. 239-479-5592. That's the Brett AC Talk and Text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching, subscribing to the podcast, subscribing to the channel on Rumble, and watching on Facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. By the way, today's just one of those days where I'm kind of fired up. There's a lot of stories I want to talk about. I'm going to hit and touch on a bunch of them. We're going to talk about local races, the school board. I'm really, really concerned about these school board races. I'm concerned about the lack of people getting out voting early. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of big rush on election day, which is fine. Maybe some people are just kind of questioning mail-in ballots and not exactly excited about the whole thing due to some of the things that we saw and heard about recently, although you should feel confident in Southwest Florida. The job is being well done by those that are handling all of that. But if it's something that's going to be a rush to the polls on election day, I'm cool with that. Just as long as everybody gets out and votes and understands how important, at least to me, that these school board races are, to the point where, listen, we're just going to have to call it like it is. And you're going to have to learn about the inside baseball and some of the things that are going on that are really important because Democrats are not going to give up in Southwest Florida. Do you honestly think that the left Democrats, left-leaning Democrats, left-leaning Republicans, and yeah, they exist, and I can prove it, would like to continue to have a hold on your kids' education the way they want to mold it? Yeah, so we're going to get to that coming up in just a second. All right, quickly. Bringing a conversation off the air onto the air just because I want to just put this to rest. And listen, I would love for you to call and debate some of these issues with me. Talk about your thoughts on what I'm saying. You can call me crazy. You can call me stupid. I don't mind. You can call me whatever you want. I'm just giving you my personal opinion on some things, including when I see the story in the Daily Mail. Quickly, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I'm just going to go quickly. America's $30 billion legalized cannabis industry is causing an explosion of teen users. Candy-themed products sold with minimal oversight increase risk of addiction and psychosis among kids, experts warn. Evidence from states that legalized cannabis this past decade shows a worrying rise in underage users. One study exposed a potential explosion in adolescent use. Another saw the number of cannabis vaping teens triple over 2 years. One parent of a straight-A student now has a failing child after experimenting with pot. Super strong cannabis and vapes, dabs, lollipops, and sodas are marketed at youngsters. Like, this is happening. So when people are saying things like, oh, will you stop? You just want to take away my good time, or you're such a prude, or whatever the case. You could say whatever you want. I'm just giving you what is evidence from experts. Either the experts are lying because somehow they're just a bunch of prudish people who just want to sit around and ruin your good time, or there's really something to this, to which case we need to talk. And so I was just having a conversation with Jake. He was making some great points. You were very passionate on the break. Nobody got the chance to hear what you had to say. And they should have, because the points you were making were good ones. There were some that I disagree with, but I like the fact that you were passionate about this. So is that wrong? I mean, are we seeing this? You legalize it. It's been a decade. Can we check the numbers? And the numbers are like, I don't know if you know this, but adolescents are using it like crazy. But nothing to see here because it's a simple substance that's been here for millennia. I mean, God put it on the earth, right? I'm not sure that the purpose necessarily was to be doing the things that we're doing. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone. All I can do is look at the situation and say, can we talk about this seriously? Is there anything you wanted to mention before we go, Jake, or are you done with this conversation? Because you were awesome on the... I wish people could have heard what you were saying on the break, but okay.
I mean, personally, if you do just the like you said, there's not a whole lot of research that's been done, right?
No, there's a ton of research that's been done. I'm saying that people don't want to hear the research because they're worried about you taking away their good time. Next, you're going to make it alcohol, right? No, we're just having the conversation. Everybody knows. We have decades and decades of evidence on alcohol. We have decades and decades on evidence on all the things we're talking about, including how vaping affects your lungs, how kids, when they go and you have cannabis vaping teens tripling over 2 years, cannabis vaping. So you're telling me that the tripling is because we've got kids that are in pain or they're doing something medicinally, or is there something else going on? Hey, could we have that conversation? Just being open about it. That's all.
Well, I mean, the same thing could be said about the alcohol right after the prohibition. I mean, you think that kids weren't drinking? You think that kids weren't consistently being advertised what kids are being advertised? I understand that they were,
and then we have regulations on tobacco and alcohol,
right?
Obviously,
but those things take time, and if we don't,
well, we have, and the problem is it shouldn't take time, because if you have a society that's going to be use common sense and be open and logical,
well, that doesn't exist.
Okay. If we did, then we would be honest in what we already know about it as it was legalized and say, okay, so now we're going to have to do, because we can regulate it. And if we regulate it, then we're allowed to make a whole lot of money off it. And this way we can control it. Well, how about the regulation to our kids? You can't touch that. Can't do that. We can't even talk about it. It's just questions to ask. That's all. I really didn't want to get into this. It's just this thing popped up and I don't know. Sorry about that. Here's what I get passionate about, and then I'm moving on. I get passionate about having conversations about everything. I want to talk about religion. I want to talk about politics with people. I want to talk about this issue. I want to talk about abortion. I want to talk about everything where we can debate and talk about both sides and evidence-based, and give me your evidence and I will give you my evidence, and at the end of the day, we'll see where we stand. That's all this is. That's where my passion lies. My passion lies in the discussion. You got to have it. That's all. All right. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Let's move on to other things quickly. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Do I have this audio? I think this is it. Okay. Yeah. So we've got, again, the left does not want to quit Trump. As much as people want to say, stop talking about him, stop bringing him up, there are people that are like, we got to move on. I'd rather vote for Ron DeSantis than have to talk about Donald Trump. Why do we continue to do this? Ron DeSantis is all Trump policies, but in a better package. I think it was, who was it? Alex Stone? Somebody was just saying that the other day. Was like, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I mean, I'm a DeSantis supporter now. I've had enough of Trump because we got the best of both worlds. We have somebody who packages it the right way and is MAGA. So we're good, right? Well, the left doesn't want to give up the discussion. And as long as they're not giving up the discussion, let's talk about some of the realities of what the left is doing. Do you realize, I know this is going to sound crazy, but a couple of things happened yesterday that were pretty shocking if you were to just take a step back and actually think about it. One of them is that you have Liz Cheney, who wants to convince you that there's a reason for her to keep hopes alive for a future run at something, some kind of national office. Like she actually wants to talk about it. And the media wants to bring her in. The media, who hates anything Cheney, has hated anything Cheney since day one, all of a sudden is in love with Liz Cheney? How does that work? Well, as long as she's bashing Trump, then we're in a good place. So when you hear...
The former president said last night, you're now headed to political oblivion. You said this fight is just beginning. You've even launched a political organization already. So let's just be straight about it. Are you considering running for president yourself?
Well, what I'm going to do, Savannah, is spend the next several months completing my work in Congress, obviously completing my work representing the people of Wyoming. We have a tremendous amount of work left to do on the January 6th committee.
You know, there are some people in Wyoming that are like, you don't seem to understand. She wants to have you believe that if she just went along with Trump and went along with the Republican Party and what they represent, which is Trump and MAGA and everything else, that she would be able to continue to be a congresswoman there in Wyoming, and she could keep that job forever. Are you sure about that? Because people in Wyoming were also saying things like, hey, Liz, all you talk about and all you focus on is being in D.C., and you're not listening to your constituents. You're not even coming around here and visiting. You're always over there. That's part of the problem, too, but she doesn't bring that up often.
And also, though, I'm going to be making sure that people all around this country understand the stakes of what we're facing, understand the extent to which we've now got one major political party, my party, which has really become a cult of personality.
She doesn't like that the Republican Party talks about Trump and MAGA and America First and these policies that have worked, and we have witnessed that. No, she doesn't like that because then it involves Trump. Do you see how it's still there, and we've got to get rid of that? We got to do what?
And we've got to get this party back to a place where we're embracing the values and the principles on which it was founded.
Are we not doing that? Like, what's the evidence that the party is not doing something or that has to do with the principles that was the founding of the... Can you explain that in detail? Like, what does that look like? What is that, Liz Cheney? What exactly does that mean? Or is it more like we want to get the party back to a place where you're spineless, you don't fight, you want to put the face out there of we're better than this, and we don't want to argue, and we don't like the tone, and we just want to calm down because we want to be a gentler, kindler conservatism in country, and listen, we can get along, and if the left wants certain things, listen, we can talk about what we want, and we can figure out a way to get to the middle, and we know where that got us. Sorry.
And talking about, fundamental issues of civics, fundamental issues of what does it mean to be a constitutional republic.
But Congresswoman, you didn't answer me yes or no.
It takes to keep Donald Trump. I will be doing whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
I'll do anything that I have to do to make sure we keep Donald Trump out of office. Wow. All right. So very telling. So we know for a fact, and now we know that that's well, we've always known that, but there's more. Listen.
You didn't say yes or no, and that's fine if you're thinking about it, but are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning.
Okay. So there you go, Jake. Liz Cheney, who just got obliterated in Wyoming, who couldn't win her House race in Wyoming, is going to think about running for president of the United States. Now, why would somebody who got obliterated in Wyoming and couldn't even get 30% of the voters in her own state to give her another 2 years in office, why would she even contemplate, even think about running for president nationally? Go ahead, Jake. What do you think?
Since we're talking about running, I want to use a track analogy.
Sure.
So she just lost a race to a high school track athlete, and now she's trying to run against Usain Bolt. I just don't see...
Okay,
It doesn't really make sense to me.
So is this did she run, are we sure that who she was running against was actually a woman? I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
Could it be a biological male? Because we just want to be
there's
fair.
that.
I mean, we just have to, so we don't know.
Yeah, I could see how that analogy doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's kind of hard to say. Unless it was a genderless race and it was just like everybody, okay. But we don't do that. So, listen, Liz Cheney would run for president of the United States and would declare soon and would do this because she wants to have the political circus. Can you imagine the ratings watching Donald Trump announcing he's going to run for president, and in 23, as we start to have debates and discussions and on the stage together, can you imagine a 23-24 debate stage with Donald Trump and Liz Cheney on the same stage? And what kind of oxygen would be swallowed out of the room? And the kind of things that she would bring up and fight, and the circus that she would create, and the pats on the back and attaboys from the Never Trumpers and from the left. That's the only reason why you would do this, is to try to make an embarrassment out of the process and of the former president, right? Because you're not going to win unless there's a wing of the party that is going to put a whole lot of time and effort and money into getting you elected, and in which case we got questions. I don't know. All right, couple of calls quickly, and then we'll go to break. Okay, Jake? Okay. John's in Fort Myers. Hey, John.
Hey, wow, you brought up that Liz Cheney thing. Now you almost made me want to change subjects, but I just wanted to discuss with medical marijuana and the legalization of marijuana.
Okay.
Recreationally.
Yeah, go ahead.
Recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
I think some of those statistics you've given may be a little skewed simply by people being willing to admit things versus what they were willing to admit a couple of years ago.
Meaning what? That about kids?
Meaning that, like,
about
I don't
kids
think
using...
more people are using. I don't think more people are using marijuana per se, so much as they're admitting to their marijuana use, because now it's not illegal.
Well,
I think there might be some of that. I'm not saying that's 100%, but I'm thinking there might be some level of that.
So,
and it kind of skews the numbers a little.
I get you.
It might
All
not
right.
be 3 times.
I get your point. So your point is that when there's evidence from states that legalized cannabis this past decade shows a worrying rise in underage users, you're just saying because it's legal that these same users who before would never have said anything because it was illegal are now coming out and saying that they are doing it because there's no harm, no foul if they admit it. And so now it's
right.
it's the admitting of something that is already happening. So, which begs the question, do we care?
Well, of course we care.
Well, wait a minute. But I mean, it's
are very true.
Right. So that's.
I mean,
so now we have to have the discussion. So if it's true that maybe there is a rise, it's not a rise in underage users. It's just those that have already been out there, and we have super strong cannabis and vapes and dabs and lollipops and sodas. We should talk about not only how it's being marketed, but what we're doing to have conversations with our kids about something that we are told by many, I'm looking at my watch, many people that, look, it's a natural product. It's not that big a deal. It's about time that we legalized it, and we need to stop the conversation. And by the way, if we're Republicans and conservatives and we talk about this, oh man, we're not cool. Oh man, nobody's going to vote for us. We're never going to get the youth vote if we don't admit that marijuana is fine. Well,
and sadly, marijuana has become another one of those subjects that unfortunately there's a black and a white to, and the answer's in the gray.
Yeah.
And there are so many subjects like that, unfortunately, politically. Both the Democrats and Republicans have dug their feet into the ground and are unwilling to discuss. Like you're saying, we need to have the discussion. Their feet are dug in, and they won't change their minds.
Yeah. And John,
the fact of the matter is the answer. Go ahead.
I'm sorry because I got to run. I'm looking at the time, but thanks for the call. I appreciate it because it shouldn't even be politics. It shouldn't even be Democrats and Republicans. It shouldn't be a party issue. It should just be hey, well, let's talk. That's all. All right. Hey, Tom.
Hello.
Hi. You're on the air. How are you, Tom?
Fair to middling. We're on the right side of the grass. I'm of the ilk that Liz Cheney is going to go third party, kind of like Ross Perot.
Yeah, well, that could be the case. I mean, she might do that.
Whether you're
and
commuting
the
to
idea of, kind of splitting votes and trying to do that politically makes sense if you're trying to hurt a Trump nomination, but you're also hurting the Republican Party, a party that she claims to be a part of and care about deeply. So do you want to do that and destroy an opportunity for a Republican to be president?
I think you and I know the answer. She wants the turmoil.
Yeah. Well, and clearly, thanks for the call because of what's taken place with the J6 committee. All right. Hey, listen, I'll take some more of your calls, whatever you want to talk about. A lot of people want to talk about Liz Cheney. Some people want to talk about Trump. Some people want to talk about marijuana. Okay. Hey, whatever you want to talk about this morning, I'm game. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
The office or driving to the beach. Always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
You know what a garage door is for, right? To keep some stuff out of your garage? Leaves, water, what is this, dead bugs? If this door doesn't close all the way, it's a mess in here. The wind, the rain. You know that's why we moved out of caves, right? We invented doors. Caveman's wife said, "Hey, Grog, honey, I can't take it. With the leaves and the water and the dead bugs in here, could you please stop working on that stupid wheel and invent the door?" Ugh. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A simple tune-up with some track and roller maintenance gets your garage door closing all the way down every time. A new rubber seal at the bottom, and your car has a clean, dry, dead bug-free place to spend the night. I don't believe I have to actually explain why this makes sense, but I will, because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage, and we'll come over and make it right. Just think of all the sweeping you won't have to do.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Hi, this is Reg Buxton, and like you, I'm concerned about the future of our great county and country. I'm a lifelong Republican that has lived in Collier County for over 35 years. My conservative principles have guided me to advance the Republican agenda in sponsoring Lincoln Day dinners, board member of Republican clubs, and active participation in many areas of our community. I want to assure you that I will put my years of experience in roadway planning to good use to solve the traffic we are experiencing and will continue to improve the quality of life for all of us in Collier County. We can fix the affordable housing issues without taxpayers having to do the heavy lifting. I work to ensure mental health facilities are expanded to reduce the tax we pay to arrest and incarcerate through the sheriff's budget. Vote for me, Reg Buxton. Like you, I'm concerned about the future of our great county and country. Paid for by Reg Buxton, Republican for Collier County Commissioner, District 2.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Rush Limbaugh warned us.
Ford O'Connell. He wants to turn the Republican Party into a rhino party.
Rhino. Ford O'Connell is a creature of the D.C. swamp. He trashed Ronald Reagan, endorsed amnesty for illegals, even called President Trump's candidacy beyond idiotic.
Ford O'Connell says we have to embrace the LGBTs. We have to embrace this counterculture. We must be on the leadership team that advances comprehensive immigration reform. In other words, amnesty. Ford O'Connell is a Republican establishment millennial. They want to come in and under the theory of saving the Republican Party, they want to turn it into something it really has never been. And if that's how you want people to think of you, become a Democrat.
Rush was right. Rhino Ford O'Connell. So liberal, he might as well be a Democrat.
Paid electioneering communications paid for by Floridians for Positive Change, 120 South Monroe Street, Tallahassee, Florida, 32301.
Everyone understands that when you buy more, you should pay less. It's called a volume discount. Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to make and install your windows. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows that will save you money and protect your home. Our windows are made made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Swing and a drive. Greenwell hits a long drive to right field. That ball is gone. Home run, Mike Greenwell.
This is Mike Greenwell. I grew up here in Lee County. From swimming in the Caloosahatchee River to playing baseball at North Fort Myers High School, this has and always will be my home. I was blessed to play Major League Baseball for the Boston Red Sox. But when my career ended, there was only one place I wanted to raise my family and build my business, right here in Lee County. You may have known me as a baseball player hitting home runs for the Red Sox, but I'm also a conservative and a businessman. Now I'm running for the Lee County Commission. This is Mike Greenwell. I'm running so I can fight for lower taxes, less government regulations, and to make sure Lee County remains the best place to live, work, and play.
Greenwell swings. This ball is well hit to right field, and that ball is out of here. Another home run for Mike Greenwell.
This is Mike Greenwell, and I'm ready to hit a home run for Lee County. Paid by Mike Greenwell, Republican for Lee County Commissioner, District 5.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News Traffic.
In Fort Myers, we do have some traffic picking up westbound, this Palm Beach Boulevard at Marsh. Plan for that, especially if you're heading off early to work or to drop the kids off to school. We'll also tell you westbound on 1st Street, that in the downtown area, you're moving slow. And then we have some crashes to tell you about. One just coming in Fort Myers, this Orange River at Lorraine Drive, not causing too much commotion there. And in Lehigh Acres, we have southbound traffic affected at a crash, Alabama at 82. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for a few spotty showers for the remainder of your Thursday morning. Isolated thunderstorms drifting mainly inland and east of the I-75 corridor as we head towards this afternoon, with quieter conditions rounding out the day by about 8-9 p.m. We'll be looking at highs near about 92 degrees on our partly cloudy sky. Temperatures cooling into the upper 70s as we kick off your Friday morning. A warm, humid start that'll also feature additional chances for a few morning showers. Isolated storms again for your Friday afternoon, mainly inland with the high near 93 degrees before higher rain chances return for the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
So are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back, especially this time of year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Drew Steele for the team at QC Kinetics. Look, QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate on your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN with locations in Naples and Fort Myers. 239-893-PAIN.
Hi, I'm Kathy Stout. I'm running for Lee County School Board District 1. I'm a parent, not a politician, a businesswoman, not a lawyer. My priorities? Kids first with safe schools, higher academic achievement, and a curriculum focused on education of excellence. As a community role model to children and parents, I do believe we can go beyond the classroom as partners in our children's hopes and dreams. On August 23rd, vote Kathy Stout for Lee County School Board District 1. I'm Kathy Stout, and I approve this message.
Hey, it's Tim Cooper with Health Plan Network. I can't help with gas prices or rising inflation, but I can help you lower your cost of health insurance. Are you tired of paying all of your medical expenses out of pocket because you never meet your deductible? Well, my Freedom of Choice plan puts most of your coverage up front where you only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital. You pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. This plan is available all year round, so there's no reason to wait. You can change now. If you're paying for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call me, Tim Cooper. It just takes a few minutes at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Or go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net. And we can custom design a plan that's managed by you, not the government.
The things that were meant to be together were brought together. My Shower Door epitomizes that saying by pairing their award-winning glass manufacturing with their proprietary hardware. My Shower Door was just ranked the #1 shower door company in the U.S. by Glass Magazine. With more than 2,500 five-star Google reviews and their 10 Florida showrooms, My Shower Door has brought everything together. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Have you heard them yet? Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, today at noon, right after Glenn Beck, 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along. This is Daybreak with Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
If you hate your job and fear confrontation, there's a new thing called quiet quitting. That's when people emotionally and mentally check out of work and do as little as possible without getting fired. We already have a term for that. It's called your 30s.
Okay. I don't know who that... Oh, somebody was filling in for Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, whatever. So, no wonder why I don't know who it is. Somebody named Nicole Byer. Do you know who that is? You're big on comedians and stuff. Do you know who Nicole Byer is?
No idea.
I have no idea. Keep eating that Slim Jim. So quiet quitting. Have you heard about quiet quitting? Do you know? This is a thing. This is a thing. The Wall Street Journal had an article on this. If your coworkers are quiet quitting, here's what that means. Not taking your job too seriously as a new name. It's quiet quitting. The phrase is generating millions of views on TikTok as some young professionals reject the idea of going above and beyond their careers, labeling their lesser enthusiasm a form of quitting. So it's not about getting off the company payroll. Oh, no, they want you to pay them. It's just that the idea is to stay on it, but focus your time on other things. So while you're doing your job, supposedly, quote unquote, you're actually focusing on work outside of the office or things like if you wanted to build a shed or you want to go to a party or you're focusing on that while you're supposed to be at work working for somebody. So this is quiet quitting. So you're collecting the check, but you're checked out. It's scary. 20-somethings joined the working world during the COVID pandemic with all of its dislocating effects, including blurred boundaries between work and life. Many workers say they feel like they have the power to push back in the current strong labor market. So the Gallup data is showing that, employee engagement is declining. And there are people that are saying, I totally know about this. Everybody needs somebody to work for them. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a half-tush job, and I'm going to concentrate on other things instead of the thing I should be concentrating on, and you're not going to fire me because you can't find anybody else to do the work. It's called quiet quitting, and it's an outrage. And this is what we're dealing with. Thanks, Gen Zs and younger millennials, because you're the ones doing it. Jake, it's your fault.
No comment.
Lay off the Slim Jim. Okay. What else do we have? Hey, a couple of other things that I'm going to quickly touch on. We've got Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. That's coming up in about 10 more minutes. We've got a great giveaway for you coming up. This is a great thing that's happening at Mercola Market, which we will be broadcasting live from tomorrow, 6 to 9 a.m. out in Cape Coral. Come visit us, 6 to 9 a.m. They got the Mid-Cape Comedy Night at Mercola Market, just north of Santa Barbara Boulevard. It's off of Pine Island Road. You can't miss it. 2 tickets we'll have for this weekend's Mid-Cape Comedy Night at Mercola Market. It's happening on Saturday night. 7 p.m. is the start time, so looking forward to getting that to you. Just a couple of things I'm going to touch on. One of them is this. when it comes to the school board races, listen, I care about all the races. I care about the primary. I care about what's going on, but I am hyper-focused on what is going on with the school board races. And just a little inside baseball, just so you understand, there's some important things that are happening, and there are ways that Democrats will get their candidates on school boards in Lee and Collier County. And just a dirty little secret, just so you know, inside baseball, this is how it works. The left, Democrats, teachers' unions, the people, the Democrat Party, Charlie Crista, who is supporting a candidate here in Southwest Florida, the Democrat Party, who's backing a candidate in Southwest Florida, the teachers' unions, the PACs that are put together by the unions who want to keep everything status quo, who continue want to teach your kid transgender ideology, who continue to want to have CRT in schools, diversity, equity, inclusion. Really, we have to have a DEI director in schools? Like we're paying somebody to tell what? To tell us that if we don't do the things that we're supposed to be doing, then we're not equitable, and in some cases we're going to be racist because we're not showing diversity. And really, is that what we're doing? They will fight tooth and nail for this. This is their livelihood. It's not just their livelihood because of a PAC or anything like that. It's because this is what they want and they're going to get it. And here's how they get it. Because if you're trying to figure out how does this happen? How do we get these left-leaning school board members? And we're always disappointed. We're always... we always look or we think, no big deal. We shrug our shoulders. It's a school board. Hey, I like what's happening in my school. I don't have a problem with the district. My kid's learning. Everything's fine. It's after school activities. Everything's good. No, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden something happens and you show up at a school board meeting and you're like, wait a minute, Equality Florida and transgender bathrooms and transgenders in sports and biological males in women's sports. And I got problems with this and I have questions. By the way, there was an interesting article in the news press in honor of the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Here's a look at some of the most notable Southwest Florida female athletes of the past 5 decades. Hey, has the news press ever asked themselves with the whole transgender and sports issue, how many of those most notable Southwest Florida female athletes of the past would currently be able to do what they've been able to accomplish remarkably if we were to go with the transgender ideology that we have today? And listen, they're females just as much as anybody else, and they need to compete in sport. Yeah, I wonder how that would look. And I wonder how many of those female athletes, the great ones of the past 5 decades that the news press is noticing, I wonder how many of those would not be part of it because they wouldn't have won. But I digress. Here's what happens, everybody, and you need to know this. We're going to get to your calls in just a second. The left, the Democrats, the teachers' unions, the League of Women Voters, all of these left-leaning organizations and people are banking on the fact that Republicans are going to split the vote in all kinds of ways so that their left-leaning candidate will make it through the primary. In other words, they're not thinking a left-leaning candidate is going to come through 50+1. They're not thinking that they're going to win in the primary. All they need to do is be one of the top 2. And if they're one of the top 2, then during the general, they are going to flood and spend and go crazy spending money on those candidates to get them to win. That's how they do it. So if you're trying to figure out, well, why is it in Collier County and the Republican Party, in Collier County and even Lee County and the Republican Party, and why does it seem that they're all agreeing and coalescing around certain candidates? And why is it that they're doing this in Lee and Collier County? Like, why do they have picks, their choices, for, let's say, the 3 that they want in Collier and the 4 that they want in Lee County, and they're trying to make these decisions? Look, the dirty little secret is that we need to have a coalition because they can't, because if you're looking at the races and you split the votes, then the left wins. This is how they've been winning. Now, some people may not like it and some people get frustrated by it. Some people are saying it's not fair. This shouldn't be the way it is. And I understand their feeling on that. But I also understand the other side, which is we have been losing year after year, race after race. I begged you to not vote for the 2 that got voted back into office in 2020, and it happened anyway. And you didn't do it. Remember, once the primary passes and you have 2 candidates, let's say you have a a candidate that is totally left-leaning, that everybody knows this is a Democrat. Debbie Jordan is endorsed by Charlie Crist. So we get a good idea politically where they stand. If somebody is being endorsed by the Democrat Party, we know particularly one person is. We know where it's going to get in. We know where we assume that because the party is endorsing them, we know where they stand. So the politics are there. So you know where the money is, and you know that these are the individuals, let's say, in those particular races. And even in Collier County and how this teachers union PAC is endorsing all the incumbents. And so you already know who not, or let's just say this, you already know who they want. So that's a given. You already know who they're going to support. All they have to do is make sure they get through the primary. Once they get through the primary, boom, all bets are off. Now all the money comes in. All the left-leaning organizations and the PACs and the party and everything now can coalesce and support this one person and do everything like send lies and distortions to newspapers to have them believe something happened when it actually didn't. And then you have people fumbling and bumbling and trying to figure it out while you'll never hear anything from the left-leaning candidates. They're going to get them passed through, and then next thing you know it, a public who doesn't focus enough on the school board just sees a name that they recognize, and they're like, okay, that sounds good to me. Or, hey, I heard some bad things about this person. I'm not going to vote for that person. That's how the game has been played for far too long. Do you see now why that this is happening with the parties who are trying to coalesce around certain people? It's not picking winners and losers. That's not what it's about. It's about trying to get to a place where we can now stop what has been happening for far too long. I mean, this is the thinking of the party. I mean, this is what they're thinking. Do you understand? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not trying to put that out there and say no. This is a good thing or this is a horrible thing. I'm just telling you how it's done. That's all I'm telling you. Because you can't split the vote. Because if you split the vote too much, they will win. That's the end. Does that, Jake, simply put, does that make sense to you? Yes or no? Just give me a yes or no on the mic. Does that simply put? Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm not taking a position on this. I'm just telling you this is what they're thinking. Okay. That's all. All right. That's why it gets scary, because it's like they're slick. You think that there's plenty of Democrats in this town, and they're all going to vote in lockstep. They know who they're voting for, and they're not going away. And you think, oh, no problem, we're going to have a Republican on the school board. It's a non-party affiliation race. You can't talk about the party. You can't even ask. So you don't know, and so they can lie and tell you anything they want. All right. That even goes to the Elon Musk story. Did you hear? He went to Wyoming. He was invited to a GOP dinner in Wyoming. House Minority Leader McCarthy and others. He goes to the dinner, and what does Elon Musk say? Elon Musk says, you guys got to be more compassionate for immigrants, because I'm an immigrant, and you need to be more compassionate. Really? We're not compassionate? That's what you think? That Republicans, conservatives are not compassionate to immigrants at all? We want the border secure, and then we want to have a legal process that we go through. That's not being that's more compassionate than what's happening now. And stay out of the people's bedrooms. That's how you beat Democrats. We're not in people's bedrooms. We just know that when it came to Roe v. Wade, we knew it was bad law, and that's where we're sitting. And nothing has changed. You've got abortion that is here in states. Some states will have it, some won't. The way it should be here. Not the government. We're not in people's bedrooms. But that's what we have to do. We have to, what? What are you suggesting, Elon Musk, that Republicans should be more like Democrats? That's your suggestion? Yes, that is a suggestion. He even said to them, he said, to be clear, I support the left half of the Republican Party and the right half of the Democrat Party. There is no right half of the Democrat Party, but there's certainly a lot of left half of Republicans. That's why it always seems frustrating to people. Oh, we just got to hip it up. You got to hip the party up. You got to be more like them. You got to be cool. Really? No, you just have to have better policies that work, that benefit everybody, including the Utes. Yeah, I said Utes. You know, come on, give it to me.
Did you say Utes?
Yes, I did. And when they see that all of these things work, that's when it's cool. because you're not taking their money and you're not hurting it. Okay. No, we got to hip it up. I don't know necessarily. All right. Some funny ones here. All right, quickly. All right, quick. All right. Tim is in Cape Coral, and he wanted to weigh in on the devil's lettuce.
Yes, I did. I'm 61 years old, and I've been a daily smoker since 1977. And when Florida allowed the medical cards, I got mine right away. And the things that helped me the most was, one, it keeps you away from shady characters on the street. And two, you know what you're getting because no fentanyl, nothing added, nothing sprinkled in or anything like that. So there is a safety factor involved with having your card.
Yeah. So you're talking about the medical and medicinal or the recreational?
Yes.
You're talking about the medicinal.
Well, yeah, medicinal.
Yeah, because I'm talking
it will be recreational at some point, but for now.
Right, which you don't have a problem with.
No.
Yeah. Anything at all negative about marijuana at all?
Not really. I mean, it costs you a little bit more, but again,
health. Using it every day. Health. How are your lungs?
Well, I mean, people drink every day.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. This is Tim. This is where the honest conversation comes in. This is where I'm only asking. Listen.
Okay.
How your lungs doing? Are they good?
So far.
Okay. Any concerns about that at all?
Not at the moment.
Okay. All right. Any reason to be or?
Well, anything you put into your body is definitely not intended.
How about this thing?
How about what?
How about this thing? The thing we're talking about. Not anything. This thing.
Well, again, if you smoke weed every day or if you smoke cigarettes every day, neither one is good for you. Yeah. But, you pick your battles, I guess.
All right. Honest answer. Tim, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call. That's all. It's just a talk. Just having a conversation, everybody. That's it. I love hearing both sides. And I love the honest conversation and the honest debate. That's all. I'm not trying to take away anybody's good time. Just want everybody to be honest about what it is and isn't. That's all. Cool. We cool? Cool. All right, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you, what happened there? See if you earn a PhD. Caller number 9 right now at 239-479-5592. All right, we're clearing the lines for Drew's College. There you go. It's America's favorite radio segment. If you want to play, 9th caller is going to get 2 tickets to give away. 2 tickets that I'm giving to you for playing Drew's College. For Saturday's Mid-Cape Comedy Night. You want to go to the Mid-Cape Comedy Night at Mercola Market? It's a lot of fun. Pair of tickets are yours. Coming up next, Drew's College on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News right all along.
Have lunch with Clay and Buck at noon, right after Glenn Beck at 9. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Save a bundle in the long run. Trust our comfort specialists at 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating to keep your AC running strong. A proactive tune-up can actually help your AC run more efficiently and save you money on your electric bill. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime. Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
This is Kevin Carnes, your Lee County Clerk of Courts and Comptroller. One of the greatest honors of my life was getting the call that America's Governor Ron DeSantis had appointed me to the position of Clerk of Courts. Governor DeSantis knew my 15 years of experience working in the clerk's office, along with my conservative principles, made me the right choice to be your Clerk of Courts. I've worked hard to not let him or you down. Now, I'm running to continue serving in that capacity. I'm Kevin Carnes, and as your Clerk of Courts and Comptroller, I am dedicated to ensuring your government works transparently, and you have open access to government records. I also stand as a check and balance to hold our local government accountable. As a lifelong conservative, you can trust me to make the best decisions with your tax dollars and always uphold our constitutional liberties. I'm Kevin Carnes, and I'm asking for your vote so I can keep working as your Clerk of Courts. After all, Governor DeSantis picked me, you should too. Paid by Kevin Carnes, Republican for Lee County Clerk of Courts.
Hurricane season is here, and there's a lot we need to do to prepare our homes. It's important not to forget about electrical safety. From generators to surge protectors, Mr. Sparky is here for you before, during, and after the storm to provide the best in electrical care. Give us a call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in their respective state or county.
This spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. It's hard to stop a Trane. Brought to you by TraneInfo.com.
Why does Comcast Business power more businesses than any other provider? It has technology solutions that put you ahead, plus the fastest, reliable network and serious savings. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary.
92.5 Fox News.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Jesse. Jesse's in Punta Gorda. Hey, Jesse.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics and more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD or associate's degree question. Search starts right now. Hey, Jesse, the 3 branches of government, what are they?
The executive, the judicial, and the congressional.
Can we accept that? Legislative. Jake says no.
Legislative.
Yeah, legislative. Yeah, he says no. I'm so... That's all right. Yeah, well, listen, we move on. We got to move on. All right, associate's degree on this question. In 1865, this president passed away the day after being shot in Ford's Theater. Who was that?
Abraham Lincoln.
That is correct, sir. Not to be confused with Liz Cheney. All right, there's your associates. We'll see if we get a bachelor's degree on this question. In 1902, Teddy Roosevelt is the first U.S. president to do what? To do what? Ride in an automobile, send a letter, or make a phone call?
Ride in an automobile.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got yourself a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. George Washington was president numero uno. John Adams was number 2. Who's number 3?
Yeah, you got me on that one.
Okay. Thomas Jefferson, number 3.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, you got a, I don't even know, you got a bachelor's degree on Drew's College. And you also got a pair of tickets for this Saturday's exciting, a lot of fun, the Mid-Cape Comedy Night at Mercola Market, where we will be broadcasting live tomorrow from 6 to 9 a.m. But you got a pair of tickets to go to the show for Saturday's comedy show. It's great. There's a buffet-style appetizer selection included, great entertainment, a happy hour. It's going to be a lot of fun. So congratulations. Stay there, Jesse.
Thank you.
Thank you.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I'm Chris Brown, and I'm asking for your vote for Collier County Judge on August 23rd. I'm an AV-rated, board-certified attorney with over 150 jury trials and dozens of appeals under my belt. My opponent has never tried a case or represented a person in court. I've represented thousands, resulting in endorsements from our state attorney Amira Fox, clerk of courts Crystal Kinzel, and our public defender Kathy Smith. Experience matters. When you vote, vote Chris Brown for Collier County Judge. Paid for by committee to elect Chris Brown.
Hey folks, can I let you in on a little secret, a little something to talk about? Sean Henderson here, bringing news that Walker's Marine is under new ownership. That's right, Mr. Walker sold the dealership to us at OneWater in March of 21. Over the last year, we've worked diligently to make buying or servicing your boat in Southwest Florida headache-free. In fact, we've made so much progress that our partners at Pursuit Boats and the good folks at Yamaha Outboard paid for this ad to inform you of our improvements. The new Walker's Marine has doubled staff in all of our service locations from Cape Coral to Marco Island. If you're looking to upgrade the old boat and trade her in for something new or used, give us a call. Find us at walkersmarine.com, select your nearest location, and come see us. Tons of boats in stock. We've got new boats, used boats, brokerage boats, consignment boats, and even a banana boat. Actually, I might have to check our banana boat inventory. Seriously, folks, we are here and better prepared than ever to assist with all of your boating needs, and hey, we're always open at walkersmarine.com. Again, that's walkersmarine.com.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
92.5 Fox News. Right, all along. Grandpa Joe doesn't want voter ID, but Uncle Sam says we have to do a station ID. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right, all along.
This news update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Get ready to double tap those brakes 75 south before your Immokalee Road exit 111. We want to tell you things are backed up. You're being pushed over to the right-hand side near mile marker 111. There was a crash in the southbound entry ramp as well as a disabled vehicle. Then once you hit Immokalee, especially westbound, you're moving quite slow. Add extra time. It's the same story eastbound on the Midpoint Bridge. It is 6 minutes, that from the toll until you reach Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for a few spotty showers for the remainder of your Thursday morning. Isolated thunderstorms drifting mainly inland and east of the I-75 corridor as we head towards this afternoon, with quieter conditions rounding out the day by about 8-9 p.m. We'll be looking at highs near about 92 degrees on our partly cloudy sky. Temperatures cooling into the upper 70s as we kick off your Friday morning. A warm, humid start that'll also feature additional chances for a few morning showers. Isolated storms again for your Friday afternoon, mainly inland with the high near 93 degrees before higher rain chances return for the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
No matter where you want to listen, you'll be all set when you stream 92.5 Fox News live at rightallalong.net.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts up to 30%. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
This is Jada Langford Fleming. I spent 20 years in the classroom as a teacher, but walked away when our school district stopped putting children first, stopped respecting teachers, and forced us to indoctrinate our students with their liberal agendas. I'm running for Lee County School District to change that. I'm running to bring the education of our children back to the forefront of the district's priorities. And I am determined to change the current culture and put parents and taxpayers back in charge of our schools. I'm Jada Langford Fleming. I'm a 7th-generation Floridian, and this community means everything to me. I grew up on many of your TV screens advertising my parents' local car dealership. Remember, y'all spoken here. Well, that was me. Now I'm a mom and a businesswoman who's fed up with our school board and ready to make a change. I'm Jada Langford Fleming, and I am running to bring common sense conservative leadership to our school board, and I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid by Jada Langford Fleming for Lee County School Board, District 6.
Hello, I'm Dr. D'Amico. Have you been told you need a denture? Don't make the mistake of going to your dentist or the dentist closest to your home. A denture is a work of art and should look as beautiful as natural teeth. That's why I have a denture laboratory on site. We place each tooth exactly where it should go so I can make the most beautiful looking denture just for you. And with my lab, I can make your new denture the same day. Come in the morning, you'll leave that afternoon with your new denture. Others make you wait 2 to 3 months because your denture is going to be made in some other state or even some other country, and you're going to get a cookie cutter looking denture. Do you really want your friends and family members to know you have a denture? Of course not. Ask me how Medicare can help pay for your denture. Visit my website, see all our current specials, watch some videos, even before and after pictures. Go to dentistofnaples.com. That's dentistofnaples.com. Or call 234-5284. That's 234-5284. I'm Dr. D'Amico, the denture artist. I can help you.
License number DN15639.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Marty!
What's with the horn?
It's the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. So they're getting big shipments of new Chevys. Whoa, there goes a bunch of new Equinox with 0% for 60 months.
Not again.
Yes, sir, Marty man.
How many Chevys you got?
Too many to count. Oh, that's a small shipment. Look at that. Hey, Marty, I think these are for you. During the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New Equinox with 0% for up to 60 months or make no payments for 120 days. Plus, bring us your trade and get an additional $1,000 off on any in-stock vehicle, regardless of your trade's condition. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% offer with approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. All rebates to dealer. Offers do not combine. Some exclusions apply. Taxes and fees extra.
Dear Lee County residents, on August 23rd, you'll elect a new county commissioner due to the passing of Frank Mann. I'm Joseph Gambino, and I'm not a politician. I don't have any special interest to serve on the county commission seat. I always put God, family, and country first. Lee County is one of the fastest growing counties in our nation. I'm committed to keep taxes low and maintain our quality of life. I'll get right to work and tackle the key issues in our county, like rapid development, rising electric rates, supporting small businesses, and water quality. My opponents are wealthy, power-hungry tycoons, one in construction development and the other a serial politician in commercial real estate. I doubt their motives as county commissioner have anything to do with improving life for you or your family. Elect me, and I will owe no favors to anyone except doing what's in the best interest of the residents of Lee County. I will be a commissioner for the people. So, on August 23rd, vote for Joseph Gambino, Lee County Commissioner, District 5. I'm Joseph Gambino, and I approve this message.
You're invited to visit the United Fidelity Bank on Metro Parkway. Let them help you save with their market-leading CD rates. Their 12-month CD currently earns 1.66% APY. Compare and invest with United Fidelity Bank's 12-month CD that earns 1.66% APY. Only at United Fidelity Bank. A penalty may be imposed for early withdrawal. Annual percentage yield current as of 6/13/2022. Minimum deposit of $1,000 required to open CD. 12-month CD renews automatically.
So are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back, especially this time of year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Drew Steele for the team at QC Kinetics. Look, QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate on your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN with locations in Naples and Fort Myers. 239-893-PAIN.
Thank you for waking us all up out here. For all you do.
Thank you for giving us a voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
So did the CDC apologize? Are they like, listen, we made some mistakes. We got a little political. And because of the fact that we got political with the response to the pandemic, we're gonna start all over. We're gonna start fresh. What do you say? No, of course not. You didn't get that. You got the apology, but you didn't get the political part. We're gonna get to that coming up in just a bit as we find out that there's plans to overhaul the agency. So they're going to overhaul it, everybody. I wonder, does that mean that the man of science is no longer going to have a job? No, stop it. So we'll get to that coming up in just a second. Also, a couple of other things that are going on, including a news organization that is delusional, but has figured out a way to convince you that their delusion is actually reality. I got audio to prove it from MSNBC. You're going to like this. And again, it calls attention to what the left in this country does. Don't forget, the socialists, Marxists, Democrats, leftists are all, the media, all one big bucket. It's a bucket full of interesting things.
Bowl of doggy doo.
You could say. So know that the way to try and convince you that what you see is not actually happening, that there are good things that are going on, like America is better off today than we were 2 years ago. No, I'm not kidding. They want to convince you of this, is to give you examples or tell you that it is and lay it out in sound bites that really don't have anything to do with the times that we're living in this moment right now as compared to what they're trying to describe. And I'll explain coming up in just a second. So we'll get to that. Also, all right, well, let's just dive in. Let's just start talking. 239-479-5592. That is the Brett AC talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching, subscribing to our channel on Rumble. And if you would like to go to the Facebook page that we have, Drew Steele Radio, you can watch there as well. Let's see. What are we going to get into? All right, let's do this first. That's fine. Yeah, no, that's okay. So we're looking at the CDC. And we find out that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are announcing plans to overhaul the agency. For 75 years, the CDC and public health have been preparing for COVID-19. For 75 years, according to CDC Director Rochelle Walensky, 75 years of tax dollars going towards the CDC and public health groups, individuals working for the CDC, have been preparing for COVID-19. And in our big moment, our performance did not reliably meet expectations. You think? You've had 75 years to practice for something, and you couldn't come up with the answer? I want us to all do better. And it starts with the CDC leading the way. It's 11,000 people, by the way, that work at the CDC. She said of the pandemic response, it's not lost on me that we fell short in many ways. Now, some people might listen to that and say, hey, mea culpa, this is great. She's admitting that there was a problem at the CDC and we need to regroup. Isn't that a nice thing? I mean, why look at the negative? Look at the positive. This is like a mea culpa. Are you sure it's a mea culpa? We had some pretty public mistakes. And so much of the effort was to hold up the mirror to understand where and how we can do better. So where and how could we do better? And what were those things? Prior to the pandemic, our infrastructure with the agency and around the country was too frail to tackle what we confronted. To be frank, we're responsible for some of the pretty dramatic, pretty public mistakes, from testing to data to communications. Now, in all the things that she talks about, not once did she mention the politicization of the CDC, the politics, which has to change. And to make sure that no politics get involved in the future and we have better communication, we're going to bring somebody in from the Obama administration. No, I'm not kidding. Mary Wakefield, head of the Health Resources and Services Administration during the Obama administration, has already started work this week as a senior counselor to implement all of these changes that have to take place. And I'm sure that an Obama-backed individual who's coming into the CDC has got nothing but the best in mind and at heart, and no politics at all when it comes to the future of the CDC, said nobody ever. Because we all have common sense and we realize that that's probably not going to be the case. So there you go. Let's pull from the well. You know, it's pretty remarkable if you take a 30,000-foot look at the United States government. And here it is. There are millions and millions and millions of people, soon to be 87,000 more individuals that want to work for bureaucracies, want to work for the federal government, that are on the outside of the federal government, that could come in and do an amazing job from the private sector. And yet, we still keep pulling people from the same well. All in the Biden administration is filled with Obama lackeys and leftovers. Why? Are they the only people that could do the job? No, there's something else afoot, and you can imagine what it is. When even Republicans, when they bring people into an administration, it's some of the names that you recognize. Do we have to do that? Here's an idea. How about fresh starts to start off maybe administrations in the future? Maybe if Ron DeSantis is the president of the United States in 2024, he brings in fresh new faces from the outside in the private sector and people that you can trust and have records of success in the private sector, and maybe bring them into the public to help out with things. Hey, could we do that, or do we have to have the old same retreads because somebody told us that it's the way to do it? There's no other way. Which seems kind of weird. You know, there's there's plenty of places that you can go to the private sector to really get the answers to a lot of the problems that we have in government. Streamlining, effective policies, being able to do more with less money, being able to perform to a higher standard because it means something as opposed to sucking off the teat of a bloated government. Yeah, so there's all of these different things. I'm sorry, did you not like that I said that? Is that a bad?
No, you're fine.
No, I'm not. I'm a little worked up today.
It's a different morning today. Tell you what.
It is. It's weird. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on a second. Let's, hey kids, let's have a little bit of fun today. You were just looking for a little more fun, Drew, this morning, and I'm a little more serious than usual. A little more pointed. Is that it? No, it's all right. We'll get to some of the fun.
I think you're getting it all out for tomorrow.
I am. Oh, by the way, tomorrow we'll be at Mercola Market in Cape Coral. It's going to be a great time, 6 to 9 a.m. Grab some breakfast. They've got a great biodynamic cafe, and you can grab some coffee and some breakfast. Maybe not, Jake. I don't know. We're not really sure yet. Okay, so all I'm saying is that when it comes to the CDC and the things that we need to fix, actionable data faster instead of waiting for research to go through peer review and publication by the CDC, and restructuring the agency's communications office, further redesign of CDC websites. I wonder what the further redesign of communications in the agency means. Like getting it right? You mean like you should mask up. Masks don't work. No, they work great. No, triple mask. Don't wear masks. You know, that kind of communication, those kind of things. 6 feet apart. Don't stand 6 feet apart. Hey, you're too close. Spread out a little bit. You don't need sunshine. You need more sunshine. 75 years. Figure that all out. All right. 239-479-5592. Well, what else do we have? Oh, hey, here's some fun news, some Trump news, because you can't have a day go by without the former president of the United States' name being mentioned. I know, some people, there's just like, it's crazy. Did MSNBC have Peter Strzok on their show yesterday to try to convince people that that the FBI should be trusted? Jake, get this straight. You wouldn't have Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, Russia hoax, Russiagate, the use of the FBI to go weaponized against an American citizen, all the evidence of the lies and the distortions and all the things that we know. You wouldn't have that Peter Strzok on NBC to convince people that the FBI is as clean as the wind-driven snow, and you can always trust and believe what they. You wouldn't have Peter Strzok on there, would you?
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Yes, you would.
Oh, God. Do you know what my advice is?
Okay, here you go.
Absolutely, the American public should trust what the FBI is doing. It's not that the FBI is targeting any one side or the other. What you see is the FBI going out on a day in, day out basis, objectively investigating allegations of law.
If you saw, like, clowning, be clowning, the word beclowning, right? Be clowning, is it be clowning, Jake? What is it? How do you say? If you beclown yourself, be clown yourself. You haven't never heard the expression be clowning?
I think you just made it up.
Okay. You're a clown. You're a clown. If you wanted to say, what does a clown look like? You know, we're having fun. We got elephants. We got no elephants. Sorry, we have no animals. There's no animals being hurt in the process of this program. We got a clown show. If you wanted to get the definition of what a clown show means, MSNBC just showed us what the definition of a clown show is, because they had Peter Strzok on the network to say what you just heard.
Absolutely, the American public should trust what the FBI is doing. It's not that the FBI is targeting any one side or the other. What you see is the FBI going out on a day in, day out basis, objectively investigating allegations of law.
That's Peter Strzok. Who was it? It was President Trump's, was it one of the lawyers? One of his lawyers? Alina Habba, who was on Jesse Waters' program. She's a lawyer for the president, and when hearing about some of the comments being made by Peter Strzok and some of the things that he's put out in a tweet, claiming that Trump's passports that were seized during the FBI's August 8th raid were Russian were Russian. Alluding to the Russiagate conspiracy theory that said that Trump was a Russian agent. Like, he's sticking with the story. And sorry, I can't. What did she say?
Oh, God. Do you know what my advice is to Mr. Strzok? You're a defendant in my case. I recommend you focus on your marriage, sir. Stay out of this one.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think he was focused on his marriage before. So I don't know that much changes. What? Anyway, I digress. So all of it's hard to believe. I mean, it's really not, but that's what we're dealing with. So you got Peter Strzok out there on MSNBC trying to convince you that that I'm so glad you brought me on the network to talk about the FBI and how they can completely and utterly be trusted because they wouldn't do anything with forging or documents that would go to a FISA court to make it look like Carter Page was guilty of something when he wasn't. They would never do anything like that. All right, what else? What else do we have? Did you want to say something? You just pulled the mic down to your face. Were you getting ready to say something? No, you're okay. All right, we can take calls. Let's see people calling in 239-479-5592. Another little nugget from MSNBC. Here's something that the Minority Leader McCarthy said yesterday about Joe Biden signing the Inflation Reduction Act, another funny name, into law. And the Chiron says, capping off a series of wins for Joe Biden. Look, they're capping off a series of wins for Joe Biden. He's winning. That means he's running. Okay? Just so you understand, if they're talking about Joe Biden wins, they're not talking about him leading off into the sunset and leading it to somebody else to run for office. They want to prop him up to run in 24. Just so you know.
Is America better off today than they were 2 years ago?
Now that's a classic opposition party question, right? Opposition parties, midterm elections, and opposition parties across the world, right? They are running against the party in power, and they want to generally turn those elections into referendum on the party in power. But I saw that clip, and what was striking about Kevin McCarthy asking it last week in his somewhat mangled syntax is that I don't think he or his speechwriter really thought it through, because the answer is pretty obviously yes. Yeah. Yup. We are better off today than we were 2 years ago.
You can't make it up. That's what we're hearing. So that's right. MSNBC wants to let you know that we are better off today than we were 2 years ago. And there's more audio that I got to take a break. So we're going to come back with the 5 at 8:35. But there's more audio to that that's pretty funny. Maybe we'll bring it up coming up in just a bit. So we'll get to your calls. We'll get to some other stories that I didn't get a chance to mention. Anybody worried about how the Chinese Communist Party steals the United States technology? The Wall Street Journal had an opinion piece on this. And they know how they're doing it. And it's right in front of our eyes. And guess what? People are still letting it happen. They know it's happening and they're letting it happen. Why would you do that? Are they a threat or no? The China and Russia are doing war games together. I'm sure there's nothing there to worry about necessarily. The two of them coming together, the number one and the number three nuclear powers in the world, and the 2 and 3. Does it matter what number they are? You worried about that? Nah. All right, stay break. 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Need some inspiration? Don't look left. Look right. Here, 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
A good farmer isn't afraid of like lifelong Florida farmer Wilton Simpson. He's been dealing with his whole life. That's why Wilton's ready to be Florida's next commissioner of agriculture. From cleaning up his family's chicken farm in Trilby to cleaning up the mess in Tallahassee as Senate president, Simpson's fought to cut taxes for Florida families and a parent's right to have a say in their kids' education. 100% pro-life, endorsed by the NRA for defending our Second Amendment rights against sanctuary cities because we have to crack down on illegal immigration. Is it any surprise that Wilton Simpson has the complete and total endorsement of his friend and ally, Governor Ron DeSantis? In the Republican primary, vote for Wilton Simpson for Agriculture Commissioner because Wilton's got a lot more to get done for Florida. Paid political advertisement paid for by RSLC Florida, IEPAC. P.O. Box 77 2516, Miami, Florida 33177. Independently of any candidate or committee. A good farmer isn't afraid of like lifelong Florida farmer Wilton Simpson. He's been dealing with his whole life. That's why Wilton's ready to be Florida's next Commissioner of Agriculture. From cleaning up his family's chicken farm in Trilby to cleaning up the mess in Tallahassee as Senate President, Simpson's fought to cut taxes for Florida families and a parent's right to have a say in their kids' education. 100% pro-life, endorsed by the NRA for defending our Second Amendment rights against sanctuary cities because we have to crack down on illegal immigration. Is it any surprise that Wilton Simpson has the complete and total endorsement of his friend and ally, Governor Ron DeSantis? In the Republican primary, vote for Wilton Simpson for Agriculture Commissioner because Wilton's got a lot more to get done for Florida. Paid political advertisement paid for by RSLC Florida, IEPAC. P.O. Box 77 2516, Miami, Florida 33177. Independently of any candidate or committee.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Hi, this is Lindsay Scott Garza. Growing up, my dad, retired Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott, instilled in me a passion for public service and a dedication to this community. He taught me how the justice system affects our community, which inspired me to go to law school and still motivates me as an attorney today. I'm running for county judge because I want to ensure our constitutional liberties are always protected and the rule of law is upheld. I will always be fair, impartial, and apply the law equally. I'm Lindsay Scott Garza. As a third-generation native who is raising my own family here in Lee County, my heart, soul, and future revolves around this community. As an attorney, I have spent countless hours in the courtroom. This experience has prepared me to take this next step and serve as a Lee County judge, where the Constitution will always be my guiding light. I'm Lindsay Scott Garza. I'm running for Lee County judge, and I would be honored to earn your vote so that I may continue to serve our community. Paid by Lindsay Scott Garza for Lee County Judge Group 4.
I'm Mark Drasites from Lust Drasites in Tolosano. At LDT, we're celebrating 40 years of handling personal injury claims in the state of Florida. If you're involved in an accident, you need a firm with the experience and resources to help you get the compensation you deserve. A firm that cares about you and does not leave you in the dark. If you're unhappy with your current lawyer, you have the right to get a second opinion or even change lawyers. At Lust Drasites in Tolosano, winning is no accident. Offices throughout Southwest Florida. LDTlaw.com.
This is Representative Bob Rommel with a special Florida reminder. We are just at the beginning of our hurricane season. That's right, hurricane season does not end until November 30th. So make a plan and buy your hurricane supplies before there's a rush. To be ready, here are some items you should always have. 2 flashlights with plenty of batteries, a standard first aid kit, a 3-day supply of water and non-perishable food. It's also a good idea to buy a battery-operated radio. For more information, visit floridadisaster.org. Or if you need more assistance with any state or local agency, don't hesitate to call my office at 239-417-6200 or email me at bob.rommel@myflorida.gov. Have a safe and blessed summer. This is Representative Bob Rommel with a hurricane safety announcement paid by the Florida House of Representatives.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Get ready to double tap those brakes. 75 south before your Immokalee Road, exit 111. We want to tell you things are backed up. You're being pushed over to the right-hand side near mile marker 111. There was a crash in the southbound entry ramp as well as a disabled vehicle. Then once you hit Immokalee, especially westbound, you're moving quite slow. Add extra time. It's the same story eastbound on the Midpoint Bridge. It is 6 minutes, that from the toll until you reach Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for a few spotty showers for the remainder of your Thursday morning. Isolated thunderstorms drifting mainly inland and east of the I-75 corridor as we head towards this afternoon, with quieter conditions rounding out the day by about 9 p.m. We'll be looking at highs near about 92 degrees on our partly cloudy sky. Temperatures cooling into the upper 70s as we kick off your Friday morning. A warm, humid start that'll also feature additional chances for a few morning showers. Isolated storms again for your Friday afternoon, mainly inland with the high near 93 degrees before higher rain chances return for the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Our kids can't vote, but you can. I'm Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6. Everyone votes for me in District 6. As a former assistant superintendent of schools, I am not happy with our education system. I have attended all school board meetings, and with my skill set, I can hit the ground running. School board elections are critical. If we want our country back, we take our children back. I have the right credentials. I am the right choice. Vote August 23rd for Denise Nystrom. Paid for by Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Marty!
What's with the horn?
It's the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. So they're getting big shipments of new Chevys. Whoa, there goes a bunch of new Equinox with 0% for 60 months.
Not again.
Yes, sir, Marty man.
How many Chevys you got?
Too many to count. Oh, that's a small shipment. Look at that. Hey, Marty, I think these are for you. During the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New Equinox with 0% for up to 60 months or make no payments for 120 days. Plus, bring us your trade and get an additional $1,000 off on any in-stock vehicle, regardless of your trade's condition. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% offer with approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. All rebates to dealer offers do not combine. Some exclusions apply. Taxes and fees extra.
Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman. Byron is standing up to the Washington radicals and taking on the woke left. Byron is working to secure the border, tackle inflation, and get spending under control. Here's Byron Donalds.
They still want to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on this Green New Deal, while inflation is through the roof, hurting every American, regardless of your party, regardless of your race, regardless of your socioeconomic status. This is the insanity on Capitol Hill.
Byron Donalds has been fighting against this insanity every day to keep Florida free. That's why President Donald Trump endorsed Byron Donalds and called him a defender of the Second Amendment, and that Byron is a supporter of America First policies. Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
I'm Byron Donalds, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Byron Donalds for Congress.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, we'll get to your calls coming up in just a second. Also, a reminder, get your tickets now for 92.5 Fox News presents Dinesh D'Souza with special guest Kash Patel here in Southwest Florida. It's happening on Saturday, September 24th. Get your tickets now by going to revealthesteel2020.com. Steel spelled S-T-E-A-L, by the way. RevealTheSteal2020.com. Go to the website, get your tickets now. Dinesh D'Souza, special guest Kash Patel. They'll be talking about the movie 2000 Mules. They'll be talking about election integrity and so much more. We'll take a Q&A session as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. 92.5 Fox News presenting Dinesh D'Souza and Kash Patel here in Southwest Florida. And you want to get your tickets now. Don't wait. RevealTheSteal2020.com. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35. Number 5.
Hold on a second. All right, my number 5 went away. What? No, hold on a second. My number 5 went away. Okay, make believe. Just do a number 5 sounder. I found it. Go ahead, Jake. Just say number 5 in a girl's voice.
Number 5.
That's not a girl's voice.
Number 5. I can't do that.
Okay, just do it one more time.
Number 5.
We're talking Minneapolis, Minnesota, not massive, but still down 54% in July.
Wow, that's a
San Francisco, look at this, down 46%. Seattle, New York, Washington, D.C. There's an interesting story developing there about whether people are going back to restaurants in some of those big metro areas.
What's going on with those? That's versus 2019.
Jeff, any hypothesis?
I have a hypothesis. They're all run by Democrats.
Number 4.
But I saw that clip, and what was striking about Kevin McCarthy asking it last week in his somewhat mangled syntax is that I don't think he or his speechwriter really thought it through, because the answer is pretty obviously yes, yeah, yup. We are better off today than we were 2 years ago.
You heard that right. That is MSNBC when hearing Kevin McCarthy asking if the country is better off today than they were 2 years ago. He says the answer is pretty obviously yes. I'll let you be the judge.
Number 3.
And so you hear some stuff like I've heard some people like in the media try to if I get out of bed in the morning, they will criticize it. That's fine. I get that. I don't think it's very illuminating for the public, but I think that's just what they do. It's almost like a tick and a reaction. That's just what they have to do. If I came out and said the sky was blue, they would fact check that and say that was wrong. And so that's why people don't trust them. But nevertheless, that's just what we have.
He's right. It's the Governor Ron DeSantis talking about hiring teachers here and the need for that yesterday. And the discussion about first responders and testing to be able to become teachers here and some of the benefits that they would get, of course, by serving the community and saying, listen, it doesn't make a difference what he says. Pretty much does it. If he says the sky is blue, people are going to argue. It's just the way it is with this governor, and everybody knows it.
Number 2.
Will you still have the surveillance tape? Is that correct? Are you allowed to share that with the country?
Absolutely, Sean, at the right time. And your body cam point was spot on. That's why cops wear body cams. They don't tell you to turn off cameras. They want transparency, and that's not what happened here.
Huh. All right. So there's Eric Trump, who was asked by Hannity last night after the former president said, we got to bring the temperature down, the raid on Mar-a-Lago, and the idea that there were no cameras on, and maybe there were some security cameras on and surveillance cameras on, and Hannity asked Eric Trump, hey, would you be willing to release some of that video? And he's like, yeah. Should they be worried?
Number 1.
I will be doing whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
Well, I know you didn't say yes or no, and that's fine if you're thinking about it, but are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but...
Not going to make any announcements here this morning, but... Yeah, listen, Liz Cheney is saying what everybody already knew. She doesn't want Donald Trump to be president of the United States. She wants him destroyed. And maybe there's other choices out there for president in the future,
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
And the question becomes, what is the modus operandi, I guess, of what Liz Cheney is doing? And if she were to run for president, what would that be like? I mean, is it her getting up on stage with Donald Trump to try to humiliate him during a primary, and that would be the only motive to do that, would be to try to humiliate and destroy, which good luck with that. and then ultimately get her cushy job at CNN? Is it to run as a third-party candidate and then split the vote, which is a really bad thing to do? I don't know. You have to ask them. All right, 239-479-5592. I wonder if they're going to get to that. Like, you don't have a chance, clearly, to win. You're going to have a hard time getting the nomination from the party or anything like that. So what would be your motive to run for president if you were going to run? Okay. All right, let's go to some phone calls. Oh, some phone calls here. Nikki's in Cape Coral. Nikki, what you got a phone on? You got turn the radio down if that's...
There's no radio.
Oh, okay, good.
Just 1 second.
Hi, Nikki in Cape Coral. What's on?
Okay?
Yeah, I heard you before. I heard something.
Okay, cool.
What's on your mind?
Hey, I was just listening the other day, and you mentioned something about posting some kind of a candidate list regarding the ones that are Republicans that are not liberal backed by any of the liberal-leaning organizations.
Yeah, no, I think what I was describing was people have been talking to me, Nikki, and for the longest time, people have asked me, and Trey as well, and I've always asked us for our picks. We need to know, what do you guys think? Who should we pick today for the general? And who should we get? And so now, during a primary, people are asking the same thing. They're concerned about who to vote for, especially the way the climate is right now. And the concern that I have that I've been describing is that there are certain people who have been supported by the Democrat Party. And I have concerns, Nick, and I got to let you go because your phone's kind of noisy, but thanks for the call. And I've been concerned about people who have been backed by, supported by the Democrat Party. That to me is an issue, because if you're being supported by the Democrat Party, doesn't that say that if you're endorsed, that they're hopeful that that their support will have you, an individual, will be pushing forward the agenda of what the party wants, the agenda of what the teachers union wants? I mean, I'm concerned about that. And I'll tell you what, I did bring up the name of Gwen Gittens, who was supported by the Democrat Party in Lee County. She is a sitting school board member. She's always been gracious with her time with us as a school board member, and she's on the line right now. And maybe I can ask her a few questions about this, because I have concerns about it. And maybe she can express her feelings on it, because she's calling right now. Good morning, Gwen.
Good morning, Drew, and good morning, everyone. How are you?
I'm well. So what about this, Gwen? I mean, and again, the thing I've always appreciated about you is the open dialogue that we've been able to have. It's important that we're able to talk about things that concern us both. And one of the things that I look at here as a sitting school board member, and you have now, as I'm looking at the Democrat Party's endorsements by county, and you have been endorsed by the Democrat Party. And I have to tell you, I'm concerned about that, because I feel like the Democrat Party, the teachers union, all the same. They have an ideology that they want to move and push in the district. And so I'm worried about that. Maybe your thoughts on the Democrat Party endorsing you?
Can I just say, first of all, thank you for taking my call.
Of course.
When I look at endorsements, I think endorsements, and you just said it a few seconds ago, that they want you to do thus and such. And so anybody can say, oh, I'm going to endorse Gwen Gittens because then she will be beholding to do thus and such for us, or agree with this and agree with that. First of all, with the Democratic endorsement, I woke up one morning and somebody sent me a email saying, you've been endorsed by the Democrat Party. I said, oh, okay, well, thank you very much. I have not received a dime. I have not received any support financially. There's no PAC. There's no anything. And let me explain, and I've said this in meetings before. I have gone after 2 endorsements, and I will tell you the 2. One was the Hispanic vote of Southwest Florida. And why did I go after that? I submitted the questions and did the interview and all, because 40% of our students and families are Hispanic and Latino. And I have been trying to represent all students and all people and all families. And I feel it was very important that they understood who I am and what I've done, and therefore supported me in continuing to fight for students. Mm-hmm. So that was one. The other one for the teachers union. Yes, I went after the one for the teachers union. Not that the teachers union is going to tell me what to do when I'm sitting there. They haven't in the last 3.5 years, and we have butted heads a lot. But what it says to me is that teachers and bus drivers and the staff that make up the Lee County School District believe in what I am, have, and will and can do in the future. Mm-hmm. So that was, and it's not, and like I said, the one with the Democrat Party, I didn't go after that.
Yeah.
I have had so many groups to solicit me, fill this out, do this, get this endorsement. No, that was the two that I wanted, and that's the two that fortunately I was able to get.
Yeah. So I guess, the question that people ask me, and I might ask you, and just a general thought here is, number one, when it, forgive me, but, when it comes to the Hispanic vote, or when it comes to, these groups, I just wonder, we care about all students equally, right?
Yeah.
And so, why do we need to separate into groups of individuals, or, that there should be a group that says, I'm going to endorse like the Hispanic. We care about kids. I don't care about their background. I care about children as human beings and as children of God, and that we should be concentrating on a good education for them. Nothing else matters to me. The child themselves matters to me. That is an interesting prospect, right? Because that's what we care about.
And I totally agree. One of the things I wrote down in notes to say was, I continue to hear people say, oh, if we win or they win, or, if they do this or we do this, where are the children? I don't hear people talking about the children. What does it mean to the children?
Right, but Gwen, here's the other side of that. And forgive me for for interrupting you, only because I'm looking at the time, and I want to give time on this conversation because I think it's important. See, but that's the thing when we're talking about the one side or the other side. The issue with the one side or the other side, and I know you know this because you're a school board member and you've lived through this, and you see what's going on in the news and what parents are saying. The difference is that there is one side, there's one political side, there's one political party that believes in teaching things to kids in a certain way. There's books that they think should be included in curriculum. There's agendas that they believe should be taught to children at a young age. There's a party that believes this, and then there's a party that is like, no, this is not right. We should not be doing anything about indoctrinating kids at a young age in an ideology that we disagree with as a community. And as a community, we are voting for people who agree with us ideologically speaking. So that's important. So there's an important, right, and there's an important distinction. So when we talk about these issues, that's why those things matter. It's not R versus D, especially when you consider that we keep being told that the school board doesn't have anything to do with R versus D. We shouldn't even talk. Of course Gwen, of course, yes, but we do. We all live in a political world. You live it every day. I live it every day. You live it in your home, in your community, and so do I. We can't pretend. We do. We just do.
Okay. Here's the thing, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I do want to make a statement.
Yes.
And what people don't understand, and I'm going to suggest that everyone go back and watch our briefing meeting from this last Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that was talked about was curriculum. And I asked a lot of questions, not that I didn't understand, but I wanted people to be very, very clear. We do not have local control of education. Education is controlled above us. We receive the laws and the statutes which we must follow. That goes from our curriculum, our testing, our budget. Everything is controlled and sent to us. the only thing, and I say this all the time, even to those that are running for school board, don't get it twisted. You get on the board and all the wonderful ideas and things that you have that you think, oh, we're going to do this and this. I've been there for 3.5 years, and some of the small things that I've talked about are finally being brought to fruition. So it's not that you get there and we have this grand power. We are told, people say, well, do you believe in parents' rights? It's a law, Drew. You know, there's two.
But Gwen, we shouldn't need a law about parents' rights. In other words, we tell, with all due respect, we tell you as parents what we would like in the district, and you listen to the parents, and this is what you do. The parents,
totally
we shouldn't
agree.
have to have a law about these things, right? I mean, it should be obvious. It should be demanded.
Yes. But
So when do you as a well, Gwen, like for example, when does a school board member have more of a right than a parent?
No, we don't.
Right.
But that's what people are believing, that we are bringing in this curriculum. Curriculum is set in Tallahassee. That we're bringing in books. Books are and are vetted, and companies are vetted through the Florida Department of Education. We have to follow what we are told. We are told how much of the tax money we can get.
Right.
We are told how much will go for each student each year. We are told how much will be that. And when they understand that we have to follow the law, I raised my right hand, put my left hand on the Bible in November of 2018. And I have followed that true to the law and to the Bible, that I will follow the law. Mm-hmm. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, right. So if there were a school board member, let's just say, that said something like, I think that we should have this particular book that teaches pre-K to third graders about transgenderism, and I think this needs to be in either curriculum or in school. And the parents say, and the state says, listen, we have problems with this. This is something that you can't have in the school. You shouldn't have in the school. Or the parents themselves say, listen, we object to this material. If a school board member said, you know what, I'm not going to follow what you say. I don't agree with that. Sorry, I think that.
Okay, but Drew,
now, if
that's
there
not
were,
me.
well, I'm not saying it's you, but I'm saying if there were somebody that was like that, would you agree with that or disagree with that?
Listen, my thing about parents, I fight for the equality of education for all students and the right of the parents to educate their children the way they see fit, whether that's in public school, private school, parochial school, whatever. But parents also have to understand, with rights comes responsibility. Yeah. So you have to be involved. Right. It's not that we have to fight. It has to be a conversation. Drew, I can't tell you how proud I am of you and your show, that I can come on here and talk with you this way.
Of course.
And talk about discussions. Yeah. And it makes me believe in your statement where you say you're fair and balanced. Yeah. The fact that I'm on here now, yes, you are fair and balanced, but everybody sitting out there is not. And I want to make sure people understand. Yeah. In this election, look at qualifications and experience, not just, the politics of it, because I have worked and fought and taken slings and arrows from every which way about the things that I have done and said, but it's always been about the equality of children. Yeah. And I do want to go back to what you said about why the two groups.
Gwen, I hate to interrupt you, but I'm up against a hard break. I've got to go. I didn't plan on spending this much time. No, I apologize, but listen, listen, and you know already, because we've known each other for a few years. Through the process, and and anybody who's listening knows, It doesn't matter to me what your political ideology is. I want to have a conversation on these airways because it's important that people hear voices, even if I disagree, that we have the genuine conversation. We should always have that opening because we will never learn about anybody unless we give people the opportunity to speak. So
this is why I have tried to have conversations with my opponent, but it doesn't happen. But anyway, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all the people out there that will go and vote. I'm not making this a political thing.
We can't do that.
No, I know. Well, you could ask my opponent to come on.
Listen, here's what we need to do. We got to go right now. Jake's screaming at me, so I apologize.
Thank you so much.
Great to speak with you.
Day.
All right, all the best. All right, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Looking for a reputable HVAC